What a team, what a game. It wasn't even a game. It was so easy for Man City, to be honest. So easy. Men versus boys, to be honest. That's how I felt. I'm here with Daps to react, Cass for the banter, and Gunnar King just probably to take the beating. That's what it is.
And also Northside will be here very soon, and we're going to hear every sort of answer of why he was probably right.
Yeah,
and I can't wait.
People, hit that like button if you just joined us. Please do it. It's underneath the live chat. I'm going to first congratulate Daps for this title race that they won already. The title is over. I know he's going to say no, and I'm going to let him talk and do his talking. And Gunnar King,
he said it's over. He said he won it already anyways. When they beat Arsenal.
No, he just said no. He just said no. He doesn't want to say that.
Yeah. I'll be in the same boat. I'll be in the same boat, man. I can't. You know what I'm going to miss? I think I'm going to miss MCFC lads' posts.
Wait, let him cook. He probably did it today anyway. Now, you know what? Another great performance. This is what we need. We're doing what champions do, innit? And we just need to keep doing what champions are doing, like turning up every game. Now, Mo, what I've been saying for the last 3-4 weeks is I'm more worried about Everton away than I am Arsenal at home. Right?
You did. 100%.
When I've been speaking with Arsenal fans and saying where we're going to win the league, and they've been saying at the Etihad, I've been saying stop focusing on that, focus on the other games, focus on those games where you might get where you need to get 3 points, because the Etihad, write that off as a 3 points lost because you're not getting nothing, right? I've been saying that, right? We have now, I believe Arsenal now have, Man City hold the record or have smashed a new record for Arsenal. We are the team that has beat them the most consecutive times in a row in history, right? And I don't know what to say. Like, I don't want to. I've spent the night after the game and watching shameless other fans feast on our scraps. Yeah. So for me, I feel like we're that team now that are walking away, leaving Arsenal there in the pile of shit that is their fan base. Gunnar King, I'm not sending this for you, sorry, but some of the shit my inbox right now is full of Arsenal fans telling me how Arteta must go, right? And then when I'm saying like, okay, he can go, because we have standards. I said the last 15 years have not been standards. So you're telling me Arteta needs to go. No problem. What? So you can drop out the top 4 again? Because, oh no. And then they say no, because if we get Ancelotti, we'll get over the line. Okay, no problem. Now you're disrespecting my team. So you're trying to say that if you get a different manager, you'll manage to overcome City. No, right? So, look, for me, now, I'm focused on Fulham at the weekend. After that, I'm focused on Leicester. After that, I'm focused on Madrid. And I will leave Arsenal fighting amongst themselves and fighting off all these hyenas that want to take the piss out of Arsenal. And we will keep doing what we're doing. Like, we've got other teams to focus on now. It's not Arsenal anymore.
You know who I got to focus on? I got to focus on Gunnar Lee. I cannot wait. I feel like I've got one of Thanos' stones right now. Like, honestly, I really, really do.
Sorry.
Yeah, I can't wait. Honestly, he's got... I just want to know everything I need to know. You know what? 6-3, 4-1, who gives a crap? We got battered, right? Anyone's getting battered by City this time. But this guy has got every single question to be answered, and it better be on Sunday. It better be on Sunday or tomorrow on Coppish at least, because I'll be watching. I'm not joking. I don't care about a gal or nothing. Northside, I'm pretty much know where your feelings right. Gunnar King, you be making a lot of noise. Yeah? I'm waiting. What's the excuse today? Rob Holding? Which one?
Okay. So the first thing I'm going to say is don't mistake Thanos' stone for an energy drink. Who aren't the same thing. Yeah.
We've had a better season than UG, but carry on.
Okay. You've had the more successful season in the context of winning trophies, but you've not been better than us this season. And the league table don't lie about that.
I beg to differ, to be fair.
Anyway, this isn't about you, bro, because you weren't invited to the title race. So So let's
all right
just
because when we
let's
finish
just keep
above
it
you
a
in
buck.
second,
Yeah, let me
we're
just
gonna
keep it
keep
a
it a
buck.
buck.
Let me just continue to keep it a buck. Yeah. In terms of today, I don't really think it's so much. There was no excuse for today. There was no excuse with Rob Holding to not beat Southampton and not beat West Ham. Today I can tolerate because we played against a better team and lost. Yeah, like with Rob Holding, that's going to be a lot harder to change. And that's not an excuse; it's a reality. Now I'm gonna state that City played without Ake, who has been outstanding this season. They brought in Akanji. They put him in a left-sided centre-back role, which he's not familiar in, where in certain transitions he's got to play as a left-back. And to City, that didn't look like it made a difference because that's what quality does.
Do you know what?
To us, when you put Holding in that situation where you have to play as if your lack of quality relative to the first team player doesn't make a difference, I'm not going to get on Holding for that. There's no point. It's not his fault. He can only be as good as he is. And respectfully, he isn't good enough. And that's not me trying to take away from what City did tonight. That isn't me trying to take away from what City have done this season because they've been behind for a lot of the season. And Daps said to me in December, "You're getting gassed at this moment, and I have to hold court for that." He was saying to me, "It's not about who's top in December. It's not even about who's top in January. It's not about who's top in February. It's about who's top in May. It's about who's where with the last 4 or 5 games to play." And I've learned that because I've been in this position for 2 damn decades. Yeah. And you know what, respectfully, Cass, you ain't been in this position for the last decade either. Yeah, you've been second to City. You've been second to City, but you know, like both of the league titles where you finished second to City, the league was wrapped up in February.
Yeah, no, we voted it as well. But you know, so it's remember what your words, Gunner King. It's not about us, it's about you. Yeah. So anywho, I'm gonna wrap that part up. You know, at the end of the season when Man United finishes second, we'll have another conversation as well because you got Newcastle soon.
So I'm you know what, I've let rival fans have all their talk. Now I'm going to talk on City quickly because I realised I didn't.
Never going to be quickly with that.
I just said we're going to march forward and didn't speak on City. I'm going to speak on City now. I'm going to speak on. You know what? At the start of this season, usually most seasons I'm humble and I don't speak till the end of the season, right? But then in the summer, you know what? Maybe because Cass is around me a bit more, and maybe because of the fact of what we've done over the recent years, and the fact we bought Haaland, I thought, you know what? And people kept telling me, Daps, you need to have more chest. So I have more chest. And at the start of the season, you know what? I thought this is going to be a massive fucking egg on my face. Excuse my French, right? But I've kept believing throughout the summer, throughout the season, and saying, listen, yeah. What I'm saying is, I'm saying it because I've seen it before. We do it every season. I know my team. I know a title race. And you know what? That is the truth of the matter. Our players, we know a title race and our players know how to play a title race, yeah? We know how it plays out. So everything I've been saying, I was doubting myself and doubting a lot of the stuff I've said. But ultimately, everything I've been saying, the reason I say it is because I've seen it. And now... You know, sometimes you doubt yourself, but then you think, nah, you know what? I was saying everything because it is stuff I've seen. Now, today, what I take from today, one thing that I love is, and Gunner King started speaking on it, is this season, we have changed the way we play, yeah? Right? We went from playing with a false 9. We went from playing with 4 at the back. We've changed it all up and Pepper's switched how we play. And over the last, 14, 15 games, we've been playing with kind of 4 at the back, but it moves to 3 at the back and it moves with 2 going into midfield and all of that, yeah? And then we get an injury to Ake, who is crucial to how we have been playing recently. Crucial to how we play. And yesterday on City Extra, we had a debate amongst City fans about what we're going to do tonight. Someone mentioned how actually, I think at the Emirates, we played Bernardo Silva left back. And we were like, oh, you know what? Yeah, because we were worried. Saka's pace, Laporte, all of that. What I think is unbelievable and just makes me think, oh, we are so fluid, is that today we went back to a back 4. We went back to Akanji on the left, Walker on the right. And did it look like, oh, you know what, 1 or 2 games to get into the swing of things? No, we can just fluidly change how we play now that Pep has got us in, that we can change our formation, change how we're playing, and we still look the same. Akanji was up. Cass,
Yo,
you know at the start of the season, yeah, you and I understand why, I get why, but you really had a lot of questions on Akanji.
yeah, he had his moments at the start of the season, innit?
But how good, bro, for how much we paid, there was talk Zinchenko was signing of the season, yeah?
Mm.
Akanji said, Zinchenko, come outside, please, right now. In fact, he didn't even say come outside. He just knocked him out in the bar. He didn't even ask him outside, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and this is the thing. That's all over the pitch. I'm sorry, but I've got to list a few. There's been conversations this year, and these are the reasons why my foot is not moving off of Arsenal's necks. It might be a little bit now, because I feel like rival fans are pissing me off the way they're going for Arsenal, that I'm going to leave Arsenal a bit. But I will end it here, yeah? And by the way, you're still top, but we all know how that ends as well. Partey, Rodri. Anyone that wanted to put that as a conversation, it's not a conversation, right? It is not a conversation. And this is about having conversations way too early. This is why I don't understand why players of the season are voted for before the season is over, right? Because when it gets to the business end of the season and there is pressure and players have to really step up, Partey, what has happened, right? I'm sorry, Odegaard, great midfielder. I actually think it's harsh to be comparing him to De Bruyne, because he's actually more like David Silva type role than a Kevin De Bruyne role for me. But again, business end of the season, pressure. This is what Kevin De Bruyne does. Don't ever try and compare Martin Odegaard and Kevin De Bruyne. You can do that comparison when Kevin De Bruyne is 37, right? Then maybe start having that conversation, not now. What other ones are there? I think at times there's been Ben White conversations. There's been the amount of conversations all over the pitch about this Arsenal team in January and February, comparing them with this Manchester City team. Can all Arsenal fans, and do you know what? Maybe we haven't got the two best on here for this, because neither of you two are the ones doing it, really. Gunner King, sometimes, to be fair, you do a bit. Yeah.
What do you do?
To be clear, when I do these things, I don't do it in the context of overall comparisons. What I do say is there is a conversation to be had about just this season. Yeah, like I think just this season, I think if you look at the context of like if you look at the that's what I'm trying to say.
No pressure. No problem.
Let me clear up like whether or not you agree. Yeah, let me clear up my position. But my position is this. Yeah, like Kyle Walker has been in and out of the team. You've changed your right back a number of times. Ben White has been a constant. Yeah, and I'm not going to sit here and say he's been the best right back this season. But what he has been, huh?
I didn't mention Kyle Walker.
No. I know. But I'm just like I'm going to clear up. No. But that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear up a few players. Yeah, I'm going to start with him, and I'm going to move on to Odegaard, and I'm going to move on to Partey. Yeah. So yeah, with him, I feel like him and Trippier have played pretty much every game for both of their teams, and have been consistent. You know what I mean? Like they've been very good. Yeah. Like, and I think. To say there isn't a conversation about who's been better this season, any of your right backs and these, I'm not saying it means our players are better, but to say there isn't a conversation based on the seasons they're having, that's what I've always maintained. Yeah? The second with Partey, wait, Daps, if I will, yeah. No, Daps. The second about Partey, yeah, I do feel there is certain elements where, like, on his day, Partey has performed in that top. In that, the
whole thing is what I told you. You said a minute ago that I told you about getting gassed in December.
No, but the thing is, I'm trying to fully explain my point, bro. You gotta
because your point is. Your point is irrelevant, because what I'm saying is,
what you want to do,
why are you having those conversations in December, January, and February?
No, I wasn't. What I'm trying to say, yeah, if I may be allowed to, yeah, is throughout this season, they have been amongst the best performers in their position. Now, we can look in the frame of the context here of the last few games when a significant player in our build-up structure has had a knock-on effect on their performances, and then turn around and say, why were you having that conversation to begin with? We can do that. We can do that if we want to. Yeah, then you know what? I'll hold my thought for that. Yeah, but the reality is, I'm sorry, but the reality is, what has happened in the last few games, yeah, has been a mixture of the mentality of not being in this position before where it matters, and that affecting their performances, which they have to accept responsibility for. Yes, yeah, but it's also, yeah, if we have to look at it holistically, yeah, from end to end, the whole thing is also massively affected by the fact that we have 11 players. Yeah, like we have 11 players, bro. Like if I asked you to play Rob Holding, yeah, when you had Diaz or Ake injured, yeah, like you would just be like, no, I'm not going to do that. Whereas like Akanji is quality. He has shown that. Not only has he shown that at City, he has been there and done it with Borussia Dortmund, not just in league title challenges. Maybe he hasn't won them, but he's also done it in Champions League performances for Dortmund, and he's also done it at international level for Switzerland. So I'm not trying to excuse that, because it's not an excuse, but it is a reality. There is a difference, yeah. Like I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm not going to take back my talk. I think my players have been excellent this season. In these last couple of games, has there been a drop? Yes. But that doesn't mean that they're excused from being in the conversation. Doesn't mean I'm saying that my players are better. That's not what I'm saying. But to say they don't belong in the conversation, I don't think that's respectful to my players either.
Bro, that's not what I said. What I said is you're naive, yeah? And I told you in December, you're being naive having these conversations in December. Why are you having these conversations in December?
Can I interject?
In the conversation now, in May.
Let me interject, because it's
that's how I've continued the conversation from the conversation I had in December.
And
can we get North side? Can we get North side involved?
Trust me. I was going to say, big up Priest Abane. He says, from title charge to exceed his expectations, man. Look.
And Gunner King, did you just say in that while you were talking, did I pick up on the fact that you said that some players' performances have dropped because of players behind them missing?
No, I said it was a culmination of the two things. So it was both.
So you are.
No. Daps. What I'm saying is, yes, they have to accept some responsibility for that dip, because when a player is missing, they have to be able to step up. They do have to be able to do that, and they haven't done that. Yeah, but also they've not been helped by the fact that a key player that enables them to be able to step up in normal circumstances isn't there. That also factors in.
Sorry, brother, but I've seen City teams have injuries multiple times.
Yeah, but the difference is you've seen City teams have the quality on the bench to make that.
Was it not you though?
Oh, here we go.
I swear it was Ghana who's.
You
know what it is, yeah. It's like, I swear you was one of them saying about. I know I can only relate to my team sometimes, but apparently we're a one-man team with Casemiro. But when it comes to your team,
when did I say you're a one-man team?
Oh, bro, when Casemiro done a stinky, when he got the red cards and stuff like that, and Man United.
So I said you were a one-man team.
Yeah, bro, and then now you're making excuses. You were one man's out your team with Saliba, and Rob Holding's the
No, wait. Did I say you were a one-man team?
Bro, yes. No, sorry. It was in February, late February. You was definitely on the bandwagon, and Boots, and there was another one. Who was it? Guna Lee. This is why I'm waiting for all three of you, because you was jumping on the bandwagon about now
you want to put words in my mouth. Yeah.
No, because I remember it physically, bro. Because
what I said is when you lost to us, Casemiro was a big loss. Yeah, he was. Yeah, and when you lost to Sevilla, Bruno was a big loss. Have I had a laugh at your expense? Yes, but if you want me to sit here and objectively say that you wouldn't have done better without your better players, when you don't, like us, have the quality on the bench to make that not a problem, then objectively, when we're not having a laugh, I wouldn't have done that. You get what I'm saying?
All right, let me flip it then. Let me flip it, because he ain't said the exact word yet. Because this guy he's just been sitting there waiting for his ay caramba and all that kind of stuff, innit? No said.
I don't know what we're talking about. This is like, no offense, but it's irrelevant, bro. My club's a disgrace, bro. And Arteta needs to get sacked. There needs to be accountability. I want to big up. It needs to get sacked, bro. You have to have high standards. And Man United and Arsenal have fallen off because we allowed the standards of our clubs to fall off. Yeah. And Daps, let me tell you something. The way your club play football, it reminds me how I fell in love with Arsenal, bro. I can't lie to you. Props to you guys, bro. Honestly, I got nothing but praise for the way you guys play football. All this talk about, the money, bro, BS, bro. Money don't get you playing like that, bro. Like, you got a real coach and a real tactician. And the way he set up today completely nullified our wingers. Bro, I'm done with Arteta, bro. At the end of the day, bro, I've been waiting 19 years. No filo da puta even dare tell me to be patient, yeah? Don't even dare. The last time I won the league, I was 12 years old. I'm 30, bro. I'm 30. Don't no one tell me about be patient, innit? Don't no one tell me that. I said this guy is inexperienced. He's not good enough, and you can see it. We've been bottling it. We bottled it against Southampton. We were 3-1 down against two legends of the club, two invincibles. What other motivation does these guys need? They bottled it against Liverpool, bottled it against West Ham, bottled it against Southampton. This is the one time to get a lifeline. Bro, at least in those other games, we were performing for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 40 minutes. We didn't even have a good 10-minute spell in this game. Absolutely shambolic today. Absolutely shambolic. Yeah? And the reason that I want Arteta, Vinay, yeah, with that stupid dead-ass hairline, yeah, and flipping Edu to get out of my club because it's negligence. Last year, we got rid of 6 players in January. We were told, be patient. We got rid of 6, didn't bring no one in. We're going to have a big summer. Went into the summer, got Zinchenko and Jesus. I said, what happens if Jesus gets injured? And Zinchenko, we need more than that. We need to address the midfield. We go to January. Do you need another incentive to go out there and blow your wage bill for the summer in January? You're going for the board.
That's on the board, not Arteta.
Yeah, it's on the But at the end of the day, you're sitting there and accepting it. You see managers like Mourinho who don't accept it, bro. Conte don't accept it. They're born winners, bro. They're not going to have it because they know.
Where are Mourinho and Conte now?
It's their career on the line. What are you talking about?
No,
Conte?
but I'm asking you where Mourinho and Conte now.
Hold on.
Disrespectfully, bro. I respect your opinion. I do respect your opinion. It's just an objective question.
Did I say anything when you were talking? No, I let you speak.
No, you didn't.
Ancelotti, what was the thing? Oh, we don't want Ancelotti. He's at Everton. Yeah? What did he do when he went to a big club? So don't talk to me about Conte, bro. And even to watch that Mourinho, he won the Conference League with Roma. That's not even the strongest club in Italy. And he's on to the final of the Europa. So at the end of the day, I'm not hearing none of this chat, bro. This guy, I've seen managers been sacked. Yeah, Fabio Capello win leagues, get sacked. I've seen man like flipping that have won leagues for bigger clubs and still get sacked. This guy's won an FA Cup. That's all he's done for it. Even a washed out Arsene Wenger won FA Cups here. And that was Arsene Wenger on the decline. We got rid of Arsene Wenger because we was bored of top 4 and we didn't want to just win the FA Cup. Let's not forget that because I was there. That is why we didn't want him. It wasn't to get, we get second and, we're going to celebrate. No, bro. You've had £500 million to spend. Yeah? When you go Harrods and you spend big money, you expect quality, don't you? When they're giving us all these kits, the most expensive season ticket, yeah, spending money on big players, I'm expecting results. And the results is a trophy. This manager is struggling, yeah, has to throw away the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, the Europa to concentrate on the league. 2 seasons running, he's bottled it. It's not acceptable, bro. And every club that doesn't hold their club to the high standards fall off. Man United had elite standards, yeah? Then it dropped, the standard dropped. Same with Tottenham. So I'm not going to have a different energy when it's towards my club, bro. This is a competition. This isn't a business. This ain't Tesco's. It's not about who's the cheapest. It's not Aldi. We're not comparing prices. This is the competition, bro. And I'm sick and tired of it. We knew Zinchenko can't defend properly. Why are we playing him inverted against Man City when we're not going to dominate the game? We're not going to dominate the possession. We played him. Did we dominate the possession? Did we hold the ball properly? The way Man City was playing it around us was a joke. Trossard gets the flipping our best player last month. Yeah, why is he not in the starting lineup? Why is it that Saka can drop stinkers and he yet starts? Why is it that Odegaard doesn't turn up against the big games? In the big games, or crunch games when you need him, don't turn up. Why is it that we went and got Kivior and this guy is deemed not good enough to start over Rob Holding? A Rob Holding that isn't even good enough to start for Arsenal in the first place and we should be moving him on. Tell me that. Why is it that we went and got Nuntavaj and he's another one that's deemed not good enough? Lokonga, deemed not good enough. Fabi Vieira, deemed not good enough. Why is it that we're throwing on Eddie Nketiah that we all twerk for, yeah, the whole fan base twerk for, that wasn't good enough to get us top 4 last season, but this season, all of a sudden, is supposed to be good enough to be on the bench. Make it make sense. Reece Nelson has not been good enough. Why do we expect him to be good enough to be the rotation in the title challenge? I'm sick and tired of seeing the same crap and it's not being brought up. I love Jesus, but we knew that he wasn't going to be a lethal 20 goals, 25 goal a season striker. So why didn't we go out and do that? It's negligence. We knew what we needed in the summer. We didn't do it. We knew what we needed in January. We didn't do it. Now people are telling me, oh, when we got kicked out to Sporting, oh, we got a light squad. Then why were you finished up Buddha twerking for the January transfer window, calling it 10 out of 10? Because how can it be 10 out of 10 if the squad is light? Don't talk shit in my bro. I'm vexed, bro.
So can I just ask? Are you asking me the questions, or is it a general question?
Next to the Invincibles. It's
So
mad.
I'm asking you, bro. Respectfully, are you asking me the question, or are these just general questions?
The chickens have come, bro.
You know
And it's
what?
not good enough.
I'm asking you, bro. Bro, I've never been on a respectfully. I've never been on a stream with you, so I'm asking you. Are you asking me the general questions, or are they just general questions for the listeners? I can try and answer them.
I'm fuming. I don't know your name. I'm just fuming in general because
Of course I'm fuming. So you think I'm not fuming?
Toxic.
You think I don't have elite standards?
Huh?
You think I don't have elite standards?
Did I say your name?
No, I don't. Oh, you didn't.
I was
You
talking
didn't say
about the super fans, the super Arsenal fans that are positive about everything.
I'm not positive.
Everything's amazing.
I'm not positive about tonight's result, bro, and I'm not positive about not winning a league title in 20 years.
But I also never said your name.
I can tell you a lot of other things I'm not positive about. I'm not positive about finishing below Spurs in the last 6 years. I'm not positive they finished above us in the first place. I'm not positive about the fact that with 3 games left to go, we bottled top 4 last season. I'm not positive that we've never won a Champions League. I'm not positive about the fact that Rob Holding's not good enough. I'm not positive about the fact that maybe Trossard could have played more. I'm not positive about the fact that maybe Arteta could have trusted a lot of the players that he brought in earlier on in the season so that when they're called on later in the season, they're not coming on cold. I'm not positive about the fact that we got to a semi-final to Villarreal to win a Europa League. We lost that. And then Man United went on and lost that. And that was probably a great opportunity to win the Europa League. I'm not positive about the fact that we went out to Sporting Lisbon this season to win a Europa League when arguably, like on paper, we've been better than any team left in the Europa League. There's a lot of things I'm not positive about, bro. But there's also a lot of things that I'm not positive about that I see context behind. Yeah, I'm not accusing you of not seeing context behind that. But what I'm trying to say is, right? So I don't think Arteta sees Holding as a long-term solution. I don't think he sees Jorginho as a long-term solution. I don't even think he sees Trossard as a long-term solution. I don't even think he sees Jesus as a long-term solution to a striker that can get us 20 goals in a season. What I think he sees these players as a means to doing is basically we need to get to the next step and then reassess and then reevaluate and then be ruthless at the right time and get the players in that will take us to the next step. Now, we were 5th last season after our asses blew out and we bottled top 4. And we bottled the league this season, but we're in the Champions League. Now, top 4 ain't a trophy, bro. Never has been, never will be. But let me tell you what Champions League is. It's the means to get the kind of players that can help you compete with City in the longer term. And there needs to be a longer term strategy when you are trying to compete with City or any team built like City, because City have a long term strategy. Yeah, and they got long money as well, bruv. Yeah, but the reality is we can't put out every single fire at once. That's not me having a low standard. That's me having a sense of reality. Yeah, and we have spent £250 million ourselves this season. We have. Now you mentioned the fact that other teams have, but actually, when you look at the January window that we had, and you add it to the players that we bought in the summer, we spent the same.
In January, by the way, just saying.
Pardon?
We didn't buy no one in January. Just saying.
I know you didn't.
Go.
No, because I think City are now in this situation where it's not like sweeping changes that you need to make. You just need.
But in hindsight, though, the way Arsenal, including yourself, were talking before January, we weren't the same this season. And you weren't the same. Hold on. You man went and strengthened. We got rid of a defender, right? And look where we are. And this goes back to like please remember, this is all I will say to these Arsenal fans that talk too early. Please remember next season, because I have no doubt you'll start better than us next season, and I will hear the same crap out of every single Arsenal fan's mouth. Do you know what? I was hearing crap the other day when I heard that, we do it in 3, so we've drawn the last 3, so why can't we go to the Etihad? And, well, you're right, you do it in 3, because now you got an L. You better hope to God you don't take 3 of them as well, because you got Chelsea, Brighton, and Newcastle coming.
You know what they're doing 3s as well, Daps? They go out the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and Europa League, and then
okay.
one game a week.
The thing is, we didn't purposely sacrifice those cup games.
Whoa,
it's not good enough.
He's had 4
Of
years.
course it's not good enough.
Ten Hag, let's be real. The excuse of Arteta was always, he needs his players. He's got 18, 19 of his own players now. Ten Hag, until they got knocked out of the Europa League with Sevilla, how many of those players were his? And he was still in all competitions. He could end the season with 2 trophies, more than Arteta, and he's only been there not even a year. So I'm not hearing none of that excuse.
So let me ask you a question, Who inherited a... Let me ask you... Let me
only end the season with 1 trophy.
Northside, let me ask you a question. Who inherited a better squad, Arteta or Ten Hag?
Both were trash.
No, but come on, look. If we objectively, okay. Look, Northside, don't do that, please. Northside. With the greatest respect, don't do that, please. Yeah, both sides, inherited were poor sides. Yeah, but if objectively speaking, you had to pick one side that was worse, who inherited the worst side?
Ten Hag.
Ten Hag inherited a...
You liar.
Well, actually, technically...
Hold on. Let me explain.
Speak on it, because I was...
Let me explain. Who did you have, Gunnar King? Who did you have? Did you have Ozil? And did you get Aubameyang right away? Did you have like a Zeb?
Was Ozil performing to the level of his peak seasons?
Now you're talking about, was he not at the level? Rashford, Ten Hag, the Rashford that Ten Hag inherited was actually terrible last season.
Of course he was.
A lot of fans wanted him out, and he revived his career. The difference is, it's not a dig at Arteta, but for you to say that Ten Hag inherited a better squad, he inherited Martial, who is shit. He inherited Ronaldo, who everybody wanted out. He inherited Sancho, Maguire, Shaw, that people said he's not even at the level of Man United. He inherited De Gea, who people wanted out before the season starts. I'm not defending Ten Hag. I'm just stating facts.
But you also
can go in the beginning.
No, wait.
The difference. Go ahead. I'm just gonna make one more point. Ten Hag and Arteta. One more point, and I'm gonna let you say the difference between Ten Hag and Arteta. Ten Hag made Wan-Bissaka better. Ten Hag made Luke Shaw better. Arteta said they cannot get better. Let's get rid of them and let me work on a project.
Okay.
So to say a project for a project, both of them inherited kind of similar. While I say that actually Arteta inherited better names, but he didn't work with them.
So Arteta didn't inherit a 5 times Champions League winner. He didn't inherit Bruno last season, in spite of Man United being poor, had a good season, like in terms of like his output, in terms of his volume. If you look at in terms of like the quality in that team, yes, it might not have been performing to its best level like Arteta's, but there was significantly more quality in that Man United than what Arteta inherited. Now, Arteta and Ten Hag, I'm not trying to take away from Ten Hag, by the way. I'm not trying to say Man United have had a shit season. I'm not trying to say that they shouldn't be proud of their season. I'm not trying to say that they haven't come on leaps and bounds. Both our teams have, right? But for me, Arteta also came in with significantly less managerial experience. And Arteta also came in when the better players in his squad had significantly less experience than the better players in Ten Hag's squad. Now, to compound that issue further, Arteta was not given £250,000 and the ability to sign a world-class DM in his first season, like Ten Hag was. And look, I'm not trying to take away, I repeat, from what Man United have done this season, but these things do help significantly. So we can play this contactless game and be like, look,
You're
at
the
the
one
end of
who
the day,
started, not
like,
us. You're the one who started this, not
oh,
nobody.
I know,
You're the one
but
who
look,
said that.
what I'm trying to say is Arteta is fully rebuilding the squad. There was little to nothing that he could have used in the system that he wanted to use. Ten Hag has come in and he's been like, as bad as a lot of these players are, there is at least a core of 3 or 4 that I can either work with or that already have the quality to give me a springboard to implement my ideas and my philosophy. So there is less gaps that I need to kind of supplement, if that makes sense. Yeah, like,
Fantastic. Let me. Northside wants to go, so I want to get his opinion on this. Do you think Arteta took these guys to the maximum he can take them? It's a Pochettino thing, and he needs to go now and get more of like the one that will take you over the line.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if you're going to take a big job comes with big responsibility. And at the end of the day, you need to deliver. And every team, every club in the world that has those standards stay on top. Bayern Munich got rid of Nagelsmann. That's not the standard. To be within 1 point, I think when he got sacked of Dortmund, the standard is you got to be smashing it. And you've got to be challenging in the Champions League. That's the standard. Real Madrid never dropped their standard. Barcelona had £1 billion in debt. They don't drop the standard. Arsenal were way too forgiving. And when we've been all forgiving and give him another chance, give him this, give him that, we did it with Wenger, we fell further and further away from the pack. Why don't we use the example of the elite clubs that stay elite, that the standard has to be you win or you're gone? At the end of the day, people talking about, oh, Arteta needs this and needs that. How much time did Emery get? And we got rid of him. Nobody cared about that. But why has it got to be, oh, Arteta's got to be our savior? At the end of the day, the club comes first. And Daps, you're enjoying your club being on top. Listen, my advice is never allow your fan base to become deluded with, oh, a manager has to make it, a certain player has to make it. No, you're employees of the club. And if you don't do what needs to be done, then you're gone. The standard has to remain high.
You know what? My conversation, when I've had this conversation before, yeah, when I say that, in fact, we were having this conversation in Munich over who the most important person at Manchester City was. And I said Khaldoon. And actually, hold tight, Mason. Mason said it's the Sheikh. It's either them two, because it's them two that are setting the standards. It's the owner and the chairman that are setting the standards, right? It's them, because we can talk about Pep, and absolutely, Pep has taken us to different levels. But someone hired him. Someone had the standards to say, this is what we want. And this is why when, rivals say, enjoy Pep's time, because when Pep leaves, things will change. You know what? I'm not naive. Like, I witnessed Fergie's era at Manchester United as a little kid, yeah? I know, and for me, I've always said Fergie is the greatest manager I've seen in my lifetime, yeah? I'm now at a point where I'm going, do you know what? I'm very proud to say that I might actually be seeing, potentially, I do believe we need the Champions League to cement it. But with Pep, yeah, Pep is that guy that could honestly make me say, honestly, with my heart, I've now seen another manager that is as good as Fergie, yeah, right? But the key with that is that our owners hired him. So I know that when Pep leaves, our owner and our chairman aren't going to go, all right, we'll go and settle for someone, and this is what I keep saying, this Vinny thing. Listen, I would love Vincent Kompany to manage my club, right? I would love it. However, I love Vincent Kompany more than I would love him to manage my club. And Vincent Kompany, one good year at Burnley doesn't mean he can replace Pep Guardiola. And the beautiful thing is, I'm very confident that everyone at my club knows that as well. Everyone, the owner knows that, the chairman knows that. And even if Pep's saying this guy's the right man, they will be saying, calm down, let him cook. Let him cook, yeah? And then if his food tastes good, consistently for 4 or 5 seasons or something, then we'll have that conversation, not right now. And so, yeah, I hear it. I do hear it. Look,
there has to be accountability, Daps.
Can I be asked the same question Northside was?
What was that?
Yeah. Can before I ask you that question, can we do some super chats?
Yeah.
Listen, boys, love you. I'm off.
Oi, Northside, we'll catch up soon, bro.
We'll catch up. We're doing something. We'll catch
love.
up. Safe, love.
Cass,
you're muted, Cass. But anyway, so
I said
7
he's
feet,
on
400 pound,
right.
400-pound free throw merchant. Pep, the GOAT coach. Who do you think the GOAT manager, Mourinho or Fergie? We just talked about it. We'll have the talk after the season. To be honest,
Mourinho's not in that conversation.
Not in the Premier League. No, not really in the Premier League at all.
No. Hold on. hold on. He's not in the conversation because if we're going to do not just the Premier League, then Pep also, like Barca.
Pep in the conversation. So Mourinho not in the Premier League because he hasn't won a Champions League. You need to win a Champions League with one of the clubs of the Premier League to be in the conversation because Fergie.
So in that case,
It was a very poor Inter Milan though, and a Porter that was never expected.
Yeah,
to
but
be.
we're talking about the ones in the Premier League, bro. Forget Barcelona, forget Serie A.
I thought we were talking about just overall
with an English club twice.
You're right.
So Pep needs to win it with an English club. He won it already twice, bro. So it's
obviously,
you all need to hold that loss, brother Gunner. True City fan. Oh, that's Patrick. Thank you,
Patrick. Hold up, Patrick.
Thank you for the super chat. And a big super chat. John here, MCFC. Thank you for the super chat. Comfy performance from the boys. Second goal was offside, by the way. We still would have won. He said if the second goal was offside, by the way, we would have won regardless. But I think it's important to point out very poor referees as all of us suffer from the bigger.
That was onside. That goal was onside. If that's
the lines don't lie, bro.
We don't know in it. Like VAR looked at it, they said it was onside. So.
It was onside.
Very obvious that it was onside.
VAR looked at it was onside. Yeah.
So far, touchwood, I haven't seen any Arsenal fans doing this referee thing, and I hope we don't.
That was.
Do you know what?
I don't
there
do
are
that.
some decisions that there could be conversations on, but when, like for example, Man City v Man United, that decision,
I don't think the ref had a bad game. If I'm being honest.
But because of, we will talk on that decision, and I think Cass has got a decision. Cass has got a decision that's pissed him off this season that we all know about, the Casemiro one. Now, when those decisions happen in games that are pretty balanced, they become conversations. But when it's in a game that there was only one winner anyway.
No, the reason why I asked to be asked the same question Northside was, is because I'm sick and tired of people talking to me as if there's this notion that I don't have a standard. And let me tell you something. I've said it all along. Yeah, we can talk about decisions throughout the season. If you're a team that is expecting refs to do their job to help you win a trophy, you don't have you might as well not even talk to me about standards. I want to be a good enough team, where what a ref does, whether he does his job or not, is mute because it's by the by because we've done our job and we've won something. For me, I don't want to talk about refs in this game. The ref didn't do anything wrong. The goal was onside. It should have stood. We weren't good enough. That's why we lost. It weren't refs. We can talk about Brentford. We can talk about Southampton. We can talk about Man United when Martinelli's goal should have stood. We can talk about Pogba coming out 3 times and saying that they made mistakes in our games. But the point remains, we weren't good enough for these mistakes to not matter. And that is the standard I have for this football club. Yeah. And we can talk about standards. Because I want Arteta to stay, it doesn't mean I don't have standards. It means I have a sense of reality and I have respect for Man City in the context of we are competing against a monster. We are competing against a team that has done this 4 years out of 5. We're talking about a team that is on par to maybe, and I know Daps doesn't want to talk about the word yet. He doesn't want to hear the T word. But if this team did the treble, would it surprise anyone? No, it wouldn't. That's what we're competing against. We're competing against that team with 11 good players. Yeah. Now, this isn't me saying.
No, but Gunnar King, you didn't lose. You're not going to lose the league because of this game.
The thing is, this isn't me saying that in spite of only having 11 players, we shouldn't be beating West Ham. We shouldn't be beating Southampton. We should. This isn't me saying that there aren't games that, in spite of that, we should have been better in. We should have. But it is also me saying that a lot of these players have not been in this position before. We don't have enough players that have been in this position before. We need to go and get players that have been in this position more, that are going to help those players over the line. They're going to help those players develop. And we need to get more players that not only have been in that position before, that just bolster out our alternatives. So when we look to our bench, when the reality is every team gets injuries, including City, who today had Ake injured and could bring in a Kanje, who would never in a million years dare to bring Holding off their bench because he's not good enough to be in their team. He's not good enough to be in any of the other top 5 teams. He's not good enough to be in any of the top half 10 side teams. And I don't want to dig up Holding, but the reality is we can't change everything overnight. And if we continue to change these things, and now we have the Champions League football that is going to enable us to bring in the quality that is going to help out Arteta. The standard that I have for this club is that I want us to win the league. I want us to win the Champions League. I want us to complete our cabinet. I want us to do the things that a big club like Arsenal should be doing. And tonight we didn't do that. And at certain parts in this season, we didn't do that. And I have to accept that. But,
you know what?
but
here's the
I'm
problem.
not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater and say, get rid of the manager, rip up everything. Everything he's done has been wrong. Every single player in this team isn't good enough. I'm holding players accountable. Some players, Saka has been poor in the last few games. Certain players have not turned up in big moments. There have been a lot of deficiencies in the players. Arteta has made wrong decisions in certain situations. Arteta has made subs at the right times. Of course, he has made mistakes. Of course, the players have made mistakes. But they made mistakes last season, and guess what? They learned from it, and they got better. So if they do that, and they continue to do that, then I'll accept that. Because if they keep getting better, then they will do the things they need to. The moment they stop doing that is the moment I do hold them accountable. And that is my standard. And I want to clear up that standard. Because I'm sick and tired of hearing that I don't have standards. Because I do.
Right, cool. You do have standards. But, bro, here's the thing. Again, throughout this season, you make sure you tag me in a lot of things. And when you're doing these rants about, this team does have the belief, does have this, does have that. You said it all, right? You've backed these players. You've been the one saying this is the team that, that can bounce back. Come to the Etihad. And I'm sorry, but
I've always said can, Daps. I didn't say that meant will, and I've been consistent with that. Other people have said will that aren't on this show today. What I've always said is yes, they do have the quality, they do have these things, but we know what we're competing against.
They don't.
No, see, that's the difference. No, exactly. You didn't lose because today is game. You lost for other games. So that's what we say now.
No, this is what I'm
saying. One game doesn't change.
No, it's
one
not,
game doesn't denote quality. You look at quality from the perspective of a spread of games. We can look at when City lost to Brentford and say they're not good enough, and they could go on to win the league. You know what I'm saying? They weren't good enough in that one game. It doesn't change the quality that you have.
You're moving goalposts here. Because
not really.
What you said is, in your things, is you're talking about the mentality and this and that to get it over the line, to go to the end. We are going to go to the end. We are going to fight to the end. Bro, I'm not being funny, yeah? I saw zero fight today. Zero fight today.
Thank you, Daps. Thank you, yeah.
It's nice to know that we've got 2 other extra Arsenal fans for you guys down at the bottom here. So,
right. Do you know what?
That's, there was some fight. Last 10 minutes, there was some fight. It was too little, too late.
No, that's not fight.
What fight? Fight my ass, bro. Fight my ass.
Sorry. Cool. Show him face. No, Rums. Show him face when you're 3-0 down, just to say, oh, you know what? We showed some fight. No, bro, that's not fight. That is not fight. Do you know what sums it up for me? And I can't wait to get this picture. At one point, when we scored our first goal, it went back about 5 minutes later. It showed Ruben Diaz and John Stones when we scored our first goal, right? They were nowhere near. They were back in their own area, yeah? But watching how they celebrate, yeah? I'm sorry, but that is the belief. That is the fight. And it just goes back to, I know every Arsenal fan. Olu, hello, welcome, right? All of you, yeah? The things I've been saying, Olu, I salute you massively. You're here every time, and I know you are a regular watcher on Never a Foul. Bro, as much as I was saying back in December, wrong.
Daps, what I'm going to say, yeah, and it's very simple, and I've got respect for you, and I've got respect for City. We are not going to lose this title because we lack belief. We're going to lose this title because we lack quality and depth.
No, bro.
No. I'm not hearing that.
We believe that they are capable, yeah, but we don't have the quality and we don't have the depth.
One definitely doesn't. Party doesn't believe it.
Okay.
I can't lie. Players that believe don't get 3 points out of their last 4 games. It just doesn't happen, bro. It just doesn't happen.
Right.
It's
bro,
a mix of
everything. If you believe you get a third goal, you don't go and concede 2. That's not what you do.
I'm hearing you got biggest 2 goal scorers in Martinelli. You got the resurrection of Jesus. You got Saka. this, that, and the other. Don't tell me about no quality just to go beat Southampton at home. Let Theo Walker look like the best
I
player.
already said. Yeah, I already said that.
I know, but it's not down to quality. It's not
But
down
the
to
thing
quality
is,
because
no, quality.
you get over the line.
Again, you're looking at quality in sheer isolation, Cass. 2 games, yeah. You look at a spread, yeah, a spread of the season, yeah. We have seen their
Had one
season
game a week.
for more times. Yeah, let me finish, please. We've seen them show quality more times this season than they haven't. Yes, there have been moments when they haven't. There's been moments when Real Madrid, yeah, there's been moments when City have faltered. But for the most part, they have shown their quality.
Champions League, we haven't believed. Because in the Champions League, we have not believed, bro. This is the whole thing. And also, belief is a quality, by the way. So just to say, belief is a quality.
Can I add the last
Yeah,
part?
and again, if you have more players of quality, then it's easier to believe. So I can flip it again on its arse. If you have more players of quality, it's easy to believe that you can do these things. We don't have the significant quality, man.
Well, that's not what you guys told us. That's not what you guys told us.
Do you know where I worry for you, right? Is because you were saying that, if we have to look at the whole season, we have to look across at all the games. And, there's been loads of games where our team has shown belief, right? It's very easy to have belief, yeah, early in the season when the pressure is not on. Do you know what this reminds me of? Ozil, bro. And I always use Ozil as the player that defines Arsenal at their worst. Arsenal's era at their worst, your best player was Ozil, yeah? Your shining light was the guy that made you smile was Ozil. Now, hold on, no, Olu, let me finish.
No,
right?
Sanchez was the best player at that time.
Sanchez, I agree with you. But
Ozil was,
many of your fan base
that era.
I agree with you, but many of your fan base
the whole, what was it? How may I assist you? Of course it was
Hold on. But listen, Ozil is a prime example that during that period, that when you man were winning 1-0, 2-0, yeah, Ozil would step up and look amazing. But when you man would go 1-0 down, where the fuck was Ozil, right?
True.
Okay,
right?
but
again, Gunner King, you're looking at the teams where you're looking at your performances between August and February when there's not as much to play for, and you're saying, we look great there. Bro, business end of the season, double points, pressure is on. Where's the belief? There isn't any.
Let me respond, please, yeah? Because Ozil and Sanchez, same thing, yeah? What we did is we got our team to a certain level, yeah? And then what we did is we took our foot off the gas. We didn't put players around him to put more quality players around him so that when it came to the... I'll let you speak, bro. Please.
Did he show fight and belief?
Please let me finish. Yeah.
You're going to talk about his qualities, not his fight and belief.
Please let me finish, bro.
Okay, talk about his fight and belief, though. That's the subject.
Okay, so if you let me speak, then I'll do that. Yeah. When you have a team of 5, 6, 7 players around you that have been there, done it, brought the t-shirt, it is easier for you individually to believe and as a collective to believe. But what we did with Ozil and Sanchez is we left them to hang out to dry. Now, I don't believe we're doing the same with this team. But what I do believe is we are caught with our pants down in the middle of a transition where we have a certain core nucleus, yeah, of players that have the belief, that have the quality, yeah, that have that, but there isn't enough relative to what City have to supersede the quality and the belief that they have, yeah? So what I'm saying is very simple, and I'm going to repeat it, yeah? What has let us down this season is not a lack of belief. It is a lack of quality. And when I talk in the context of quality, I'm not talking about just the first 11 players. I'm talking about the 8 to 9 players on the bench that when called upon, because injuries are a reality, not a myth of any team's situation, when called upon, there is no significant gap in quality to the player that is brought off the bench to the player that's brought on. I'm not trying to take away from let me finish. I'm not trying to take away from what City are doing and what they will continue to do as a result of having this. It's very easy to conflate and mix up the two things. It's very easy, man. It's very easy.
All right, can I jump in? As an old Arsenal fan, and I've been on this a few times. I have to disagree. I've got to disagree with Nance as well, but I have to disagree with you. Look, when Arsenal win the league in '98, we had guys like Luchny, we had Nelson Vivas, we had Boa Morton, we had Christopher Ray on the bench. They weren't high quality the same way as a Bergkamp or Anelka. When Arsenal win the league in 2002, and we had Henry and Bergkamp up front, we also had Wiltord and Cannon behind, and then we had even younger players like Stephen Hughes and things like that. No team apart from possibly even City and maybe, I don't know. I mean, you look at Liverpool, the Liverpool team that won the league a couple of years back. Outside of the top 11, when you start getting to 14, 15, it starts to drop off in terms of quality. So this idea of you're going to have 18, 22 players full of quality is a myth. No, even City don't have that. They have maybe up to 19 players, but
the standard then is not the same.
It's something that we create for ourselves to create excuses when our teams don't play well. The fact of the matter is this, right? The team at the start of the season that Arteta decided to go with is the team that he has right now. Yes, he added two or three players in January, but that's the team he decided was good enough to challenge whoever wanted to challenge. And when we were top of the league and we're beating teams comfortably, we weren't complaining about this. So it's not now that we now turn around and set a narrative and say it's different. Yes, the players we had today in terms of holding isn't as good as Saliba, but we should have known that from the beginning of the season. And if it came to this point, we're going to have to deal with that. The fact of the matter is, I do believe that you're talking about belief in quality, etc., etc. The reality is that we had one goal today. Go and win your game. It doesn't matter if you have Holden. It doesn't matter if you have Jorginho. It doesn't matter who you have. Go and win your game. Champions are built off the fact that when the pressure comes, when you have you're hurting, you're down to your last, player who's of quality, you still go out there and you win. That's the winning mentality that we have. And the fact of the matter is that Man City just showed a quality that is above where we are right now. We have to just sometimes accept it. That
I've not accepted that, by the way.
Was that?
I've not accepted that, by the way. That's not something.
But that's fine. But we don't. Sometimes we don't have to make all these excuses and say, "Oh, this." That. I mean, yes, there's going to be the jokes are going to be there for Arsenal bottling this, etc., etc. That doesn't really matter to me. All that matters is that we went out today. We were meant to go out and show that we could be champions, and we didn't. We have to accept it, and now we have to hope that Man City, do the impossible, which is drop unnecessary points at certain places. The thing I'm going to say about today's game, and the thing that I'm going to say, going back on myself, what I said earlier this season was, I used to say Man City were predictable, and one thing, Pep, the genius of Pep, which I'm never going to underestimate this man anymore. The genius of him is that he found a way to say, actually, whatever the strengths that we have, the thing that made us predictable is going to become our biggest strength, i.e., get the ball to Haaland. It was so predictable back
not anymore. It's more like get the ball to KDB in more of the central area in the pockets and let him do his flick-ons and do his runs that he does. You don't really see KDB down the flanks no more. You don't.
Nope.
He's in between the DM and the centre mid now.
Really bad first touch.
Let me talk. Once Olo's done, let me tell you something that Vidic said and what is changed. Let me tell you. Olo, go ahead.
Let me just finish. Pep stopped being cute, right? Pep stopped being, I'm going to be this super tactical. He just said, I'm going to build a team that's going to be effective and is going to play to what I have in Haaland, he's a freak of nation, right? And the fact of the matter is that Arteta and the team didn't game plan properly to negate that. So, look, we just have to put our hands up sometime and just say, you know what? We got beat. We got beat. And maybe it's a lack of belief, maybe it's a lack of quality, but we don't know what it is.
I haven't held up my hands. I haven't refused to hold up my hands and say we haven't been beat by the better team, because we have. I want to take one thing that you said. I want to take one thing that you said about back in the day, we didn't have 18 or 19 players. Yeah. Neither Arsenal or Man United during the Wenger and Fergie era, I think both of us only put up a 90 points tally once. Yeah. This City team has done it consistently 5 years in a row. And Liverpool have lost league titles, putting up 97 points, only losing one game. So the standard back then to right now is different. And the means to which that standard was maintained by City, I repeat, is not just about having quality in 11 players. It's 17 to 18 players minimum, to allow the rotation of players to keep all of those 18 players performing at an optimal level, not just for 3/4 of the season, but for the whole course and duration, mentally and physically. And that's a fact.
All right, let me just.
We don't
before
have
go to-
that. We don't have
Before we
that.
go, I know more wants to
but
ask a question.
Ghana-
Let me ask this one quick. Well, this one quick question. And honestly, even Daps, you can answer this question as well, right? And I know you're a Man City fan. You might be a little bit biased
Kaz?
about this. Can Kaz look at Kaz as well?
Yeah.
In reality, it's in Kanji. Did anyone ever think Akanji was a top quality player?
He wasn't.
No.
Exactly.
No, he wasn't.
That's my case in point.
And we're criticizing
So-
him at the start of the season as well for what we knew him for. It's just that now he's just
Exactly.
learned his role in it in the
So
system.
that's my case in point. So again,
So you're giving Pep the
so
credit.
Akanji,
Yeah.
exactly.
Akanji's been quality for Dortmund. He's been quality in the Champions League for
No, he
Dortmund,
hasn't.
and he's
No,
been
he hasn't.
quality at international level for Switzerland.
No,
And
For
that's
those
what-
that know,
no
for those that have
quality.
watched him,
Sorry.
and I've watched him.
Sorry,
So-
no
I watched
quality
him too.
player. Sorry. No quality player is worth 15 million euros. No quality.
Let me
player.
tell you now
That's
for
a mess.
Kanji. Yeah,
He's
tell
in
me
the
something.
last year of his
Someone has-
contract, which
someone has
obviously
eyeball-
negates like
last year of the
value isn't
contract,
always
and
dictated
people
on
are paying-
quality, it's circumstance as well. So
Pep
I mean,
is the
like,
one who
you-
made him like this.
For someone
All
that's
of us,
actually watched
all
him,
of us
him-
were saying that Akanji is shit in the beginning of the season. All of us
Okay.
were saying
No, I
Akanji is
wasn't.
not up to the
No, I
level.
wasn't. Can
Pep
you excuse
was
me from that
saying-
conversation? Because I would
Okay.
like you to find one video or statement that I made personally where I said Akanji is shit, and guess what? You won't find it.
So once
that applies to everyone else
Akanji
on the
joined
show.
City,
That's
so
their
you
business.
want to
It's
tell
not
me?
mine. I just want to be
You
clear
wanna-
on that. It's
You
not
want to
mine.
tell me that when Akanji joined City, you said that he's the level of Stones, Diaz, Walker, and all these
He
guys?
doesn't. It's not. No. What I was saying is, if Akanji has to play instead of Stones, Ake, or Laporte, I was never saying that it would be less of a quality gap than if Holding had to play instead of Saliba or Gabriel. And in fact, I hadn't even seen this level that I've seen from Saliba because this is his first Premier League season. So let's be clear. I'm not saying that Akanji has to be as good as those guys. What I'm saying is he has to be able to perform to a certain standard to allow them to maintain their overall standard. And that's something I never questioned at the beginning of the season. Now, again, if other people on the team did that.
Can I put my input in? I'm putting my
because the
input
thing
in
is,
now.
I
Yeah, I've been
watched
quiet for
football
bare long.
outside my league. Yeah, I've watched him play in Germany, and I've watched him play for Switzerland, and I've watched him play for Dortmund in their league and in the Champions League, and I've seen a good player.
All right, cool. What did he play in the back three or back four?
He played more in a 4.
No, he didn't. He played in a 3. So, anyways, let me keep going because they had Zaga doing that on the left centre back. Yes. Because they played Guerrero left wing back. Before them, because I do remember they were playing 3 at the back. Before their manager got sacked, then he went to 4 and he got exposed. That's why Dortmund got absolutely torn apart last season. Anyways, he's not in Switzerland back 3 as well. Am I lying? They play back 3. They were done back 5s. He's very used to it. That's why he suits Pep's system, because in the back 3, when they go to a 3, John Stones fill in. He can use that. He's been utilised very well.
He played in a 4 this season for City as well.
He's just like Ake, yeah. Ake's not known to be world class nothing. He was known as a good player that can fill in and do the role for the system required. Now you say you got nothing on the bench. That's not what I was hearing this season. I was hearing a like for like Tomiyasu, give or take whatever. Kieran Tierney.
What happened to Tomiyasu?
Wait. One sec, because I'm going to bring Roms into the conversation because we've been on a lot of strings together.
I can see
So,
what the
anyway, yawn. Kieran Tierney and
I've got a
Zinchenko.
question for you as
Kieran
well,
Tierney
after
is a very good player. Yeah, I can excuse your centre backs. To be fair, I will make that assumption. Ben White, Tomiyasu, like for like. Tomiyasu's not that great, but at the same rate, I hear that part. Yeah, I can. But there's a lot of players that come off your bench this season that have won you the games. A lot of them. Jorginho being another of them. Was he good enough for Arsenal? No. So anyways, let's move on. Trossard, very good player. Nketiah, we're bigging him up, bruv. As soon as Jesus came back in, he went straight out of the team. 2 bad games from Nketiah. You don't want him out, by the way. So there you go. Jesus comes in, has not really looked very good. So anyways, look, I think Kieran Tierney's been hard done by. I think when he has come in, he's played quite well. He's just been used as a bench player. I'm not saying Arsenal's quality's there, but you've been playing 1 game per week. And you know what I've heard? I've heard excuses on players and not enough on the manager when he needs a change. All you fans have been calling for is change. Trossard should be starting here. This player should be doing that. Rob Holding's fault, even though Gabriel got spun or something like that, you know. And all these, it's never on Arteta.
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure when I spoke to Northside Cass, I just said all those things. But that's not on my business.
Yes and no, because that's why Arteta went into the manager more than the players, and he did go into the players eventually. But no, I'm not discrediting what you said though, Ghana, because you pretty much fought all points. But all my smelling is quality and not mentality and what did you say?
Yeah.
Belief.
That's the bit
belief.
that I can't get over that you're
So
saying
the belief
that.
is, yeah. So why is it you went to Liverpool? Roms was very clear on this part as well. You went to Liverpool, you effed up. You effed up there in a 2-2. Don't get me wrong, you could have won the game, but Liverpool were just as good, if anything, yeah? Why does that one game spur you into another game to go and draw against Southampton, draw against West Ham? That's not about quality, bro. West Ham are down there in the table. They're fighting because they got belief, yeah? And a bit of quality at that rate. And also, Southampton got no quality, man. Barely. You're looking like Prime Walcott when he was 16, running through the centre backs over again. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's not to do with quality, in my opinion. That's down to your manager and not the players. And yes, it is on the players. The players do play the game, so it's on the players, but it's on Arteta, bro. That's all I'm saying. Majority of this last few games is on Arteta. Saka's been playing poor performances 4 in a row now. Should he have got dropped? Probably. Maybe he needed a bit of a rest. Martinelli's your great goal scorer, man. Utilising a bit better. Trossard's been absolutely hungry for a game.
Yeah.
Jorginho, actually, every time he's played since the first game, he's actually played okay. I don't know why you can't utilise Thomas Partey in the centre mid and Jorginho to control the game a little bit better and go, you know what it is? Arteta has no plan B. How can you go to the Etihad, again, naive the way you're playing, and play a flipping single pivot? This is why we play a McFred because in most games because we're scared. And that's what I think Arteta should be a little bit more scared and a bit more pragmatic. And that does come down to, you know, your manager, bro. Where man's got a plan B, you got a plan A, B, and probably a C. You know, Liverpool got a plan you know what I mean? But Arteta's got to have another plan. When it doesn't go well, what do you do?
I've got to say.
Well, I said to Northside. I'm gonna reiterate what I said to Northside. I feel like Arteta can make substitutions quicker. I don't feel he always makes the right decisions, and I don't feel that he trusts players earlier on in the season enough. Yeah, because when Daps said to me earlier on in the season that Pep is swapping a lot of players in his back line, he's putting minutes into them. So when they come on later on in the season, the belief is there because they've had the minutes to be like, we can do this, I've got this. So pretty much, Kaz, it sounds to me like you're saying I didn't say something that I've already said on the show.
Sorry.
No, I've just been hearing swings and roundabouts. I'm talking from belief.
I'm saying, like, it does sound to me that that's like what you're doing, but like,
you swung a roundabout. You're saying quality, but you're the only one that's saying quality. But most of us are saying it's pretty much down to your mentality.
So when I said these 3 things, am I not holding Arteta to account? That's what I'm trying to establish.
In a way, but you know, it's not just directed at you though, Ghana. I'm not actually disagreeing. It's majority of the fans as well. Like it's a collective, isn't it? Like when people say, "Oh, you United fans," it doesn't always mean me. It just means there's the collective. You know what I mean? I lie, Roms.
Yeah, you have to hold it. There's many crazy things Liverpool fans say. You just have to take that. I've not personally said. You just have to take
no. There's some things that you have said. Don't do that. You're an Arsenal fan, anyways. It's cool.
What's on the Arteta sort of approach? You got. I look at it this way, right? It comes to a bit of naivety from his side as well, but the naivety comes from the fact that when Arsenal played City twice this year, previously, everyone said Arsenal's match City, right? The first game at the FA Cup game, like Arsenal won the game. In the game at the Emirates, Arsenal won the game until City sort of sucker punch, and then you look at the stats hype, but it showed that actually Arsenal were in the game. I think in this game, he probably believed that actually, again, if I take the game to City and we take control of the game and not let them have the ball, that they'll do less damage to us. The difference is that City and Pep, and even the rotation of the back 4, I don't think that is because he's trying to put minutes under their legs. I think it's more of a case as he was trying to find his best team. And then eventually, because now that he's found his best team, he's not changing as much anymore. He's just saying, you know what, just go forward and continue your run. And I think that what happened is that the Arsenal team were not ready physically and most likely mentally to match what City were going to bring to this. So I think it was more of a case of he's had 2 of the experiences he thought that's worked, and all we need to get is a little bit more luck. And the reality is that City just had that extra gear that they could race to that this Arsenal team could not match today. Simple as.
Well, do you know what? It's not as simple as. Sorry, bro. This is the thing, right? Pep knows how to manage a season. That's the simple as, right? That is as simple as. Pep knows that, and even last season, I'll go back to last season when we beat Man United 2. I think it was last season. It was either last season or the season before. We beat Man United 2-0, and everyone said it was. United fans said it was more embarrassing than their loss to Liverpool last season. Yeah,
The
because
training game one.
because of the manner it was. But that was quite early on in the season, and it was because Pep knows a season is long. Yeah, let the ball do the work. Don't be running all over the place. Don't be consuming all your energy. Yeah. Pep knows. And so little things like we've learned from previous, you've got to remember, we've been through so many title races, and there's been times in some where all of a sudden, back end of the season, we're having to play with partnerships that have never played together before, right? And it's not good. You get these, and at the start of this season, Pep was playing players together because the whole thing that started at the start of this season, it was all new to us. The way we were playing was new. People were being asked to take on different roles. We didn't know who was comfortable on the left, who was comfortable on the right. Everything was a trial and error. Even, and here's the key, even with the players' mentality in January, Pep said it himself. He was questioning players' mentality because what he wanted to know is who wants to go again? Who's happy with just winning the league once? Who wants to go again, right? And he was willing to drop players that I said at the time when we played you in the cup. I said, when everyone was saying, oh, this is City's best team, I said, no, this is City's best team based on how they're performing at the moment and their mentality at the moment, yeah? And I said, Rico Lewis, great player, 17, just turned 18. We're not going to win the league with Rico Lewis. We need John Stones back. We need Ruben Diaz back. We need Bernardo Silva back performing at his best, because without these players performing at their best, we do not win the league. And Pep was testing all of them. Even when you look at it, yeah, we're the team playing every 3 days, not Arsenal, right? We are the team playing every 3 days. But Pep is rotating players correctly. I said to you lot, by the way, one of the worst things about the FA Cup win over Sheffield United is the fact that Kevin De Bruyne, Ruben Diaz, Rodri, and John Stones were all rested. Now, there is no coincidence. De Bruyne masterclass today. Didn't look tired, making them runs at you constantly. Ruben Diaz, John Stones, Rodri, the same rocks they always are. He knows when to rest players. Bernardo Silva got brought off early. And this is a difference between him and Arteta. Now, I'm still going to say, for me, Arteta has done enough this season to be given another season. Now, if next season Arsenal have a worse season than they do this season, no problem. I will say, admittedly, you know what, probably time for him to go. But on the Arteta, to all these Arsenal fans that are saying, get rid of Arteta now, he needs to be replaced. Sorry, you're at the moment, you're still moving forward, yeah? But you don't change things when you're moving forward. Now, if you start moving backwards, no problem. Get rid of Arteta. But right now, the grass is not always greener, yeah? You get rid of Arteta, bring someone else in, you could drop out that top four very easily.
So this is why I should have commented earlier on, because I was going to ask the question. And look, when I hear Arsenal fans say this, I'm always like, it's easy to say a manager out. The thing they never say is who they should bring in. And I've heard this with Carlo Ancelotti. I mean, do people realize that Carlo Ancelotti does not train any players anymore? He's literally just a figurehead now. His coaching staff does most of the training. And that's one of the things that happened at Everton that became very apparent. And even at Real Madrid right now, he's not going out there building tactics. He's just a figurehead and that sort of sits on top of the Real Madrid coaching system right now. And you've even seen this season gone down in regression. So for my question to Arsenal fans is, all right, you want Arteta out, which, you know, everyone is happy, is fine to have their opinion. Who would you bring in?
Yeah.
Because if you said Nagelsmann, I bet you 95% of people will say, I've never actually properly watched or know that much about him. It's just a tactical sort of, you know, cool name to point out. Who would they bring in?
I don't know. Maybe there is a better option. I don't know.
If you're asking me,
you just need to upgrade.
I'm not even going to entertain this question. Not with respect to you, because I know that's not the problem.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I know that's not the problem.
You just need to upgrade quality. That's it now. Your process is finished, by the way. That's all I'm going to tell you. Your process is finished. You got a style of football. Yeah. Everyone knows how the manager is. I was getting told throughout the season as well. When you put in a player,
Our processes are finished in terms of we built our system, we've rebuilt the culture, we've reconnected the fan base with the club. We've got players believing in a manager. We've got players believing in all of these things. We've got a good recruitment structure. We've got a good recruitment structure. We've got a good scouting network. We've got a good talent ID department. Our process isn't finished, and I'm going to repeat this, in the context of having 5 to 6 more players that allow us to remain competitive when our better players get injured.
6?
Absolutely.
Let me repeat. When that process is finished, sorry. Let me just say this last thing, please. When that process is finished, when we do have 17 to 18 players on the bench that, like for like, do sort of mirror or sufficiently close the quality gap to the first 11 players that we do have, that is when it is time to be ruthless. That is when it's time to say, you know what, now you've got the squad as well. Yeah,
that's rare. Only City literally do that. We were able to nick a towel off them. Like has alluded to earlier, our bench, there was a golfing class. There was. But because we won it so early, you couldn't really see it. But what you're saying, to have 6-7 players off the bench that are quality and there's no real golfing class.
What Liverpool had was a significant. Klopp is a significantly better manager than Arteta, and Klopp is a manager that has actually won league titles back to back in Germany. In Germany, only manager that hasn't managed Bayern Munich to do a back-to-back title win in what, 2, 3, 4 decades. Did a double in the second season, and got them to a Champions League final, and narrowly lost out to that Bayern before he came to Liverpool. So, with the greatest respect, I know you can look at that comparison and be like, it's valid, but
Gunner King, can I ask you a question?
I don't know.
One last question I want to ask you. So, you've said that you do believe that your players have belief. You do believe that your players. What was it? It was belief and there was.
I believe. What I'm saying is, I think there is.
I've got a question. I haven't asked you the question yet.
Sorry. Okay.
So the question is: so, do you think that your players came to the Etihad tonight thinking they could get anything out of tonight?
I think the players came and believed that they could get something out of this game tonight. And I think the belief was slapped the hell out of them in the first 10 minutes when KDB scored. And I think what happens when you have
belief then? Is that belief?
I think what happens...
And let me say this, because when we went 1-0 down to Liverpool, right, we ended up winning that game 4-1. That's belief, right? That you can get slapped down. You can go there believing. You can get slapped down and you can go, no. I believe, right? Okay, no problem. From the minute we slapped that out of your players' mouths in the 10th minute or whatever it was.
Okay.
Did the belief not come back?
Okay, so Liverpool weren't the team that hadn't lost their previous 16 games. Had just beaten Bayern Munich. Had just beaten the likes of. But to compare, like, I'm not trying to take away from the fact that you did come back in that game and go on to win it. Liverpool are not a team that you've asked me a question and you interjected before I finished answering it. Like, okay. I can't do that, bro. Like it's what I'm trying to say is
you've been doing it all show, to be fair, quite well, so you can do it. But
okay, so I don't know. I would like to answer this question in a way.
That's what I'm saying. You've done it really well, so carry on.
So what happens? Yeah, when you're playing against City and you go behind, and what happens when you go behind against this current iteration of Liverpool are two very different things, bro. They are. Like, I don't know, to compare them. I'm not trying to say anything about you. I'm just objectively speaking, they are two different things. Yeah, like,
no, but they're not, because to me
they are because if you're going behind against a team of City's quality compared to going behind a team of Liverpool's current quality, the belief that you can come back and come back into that game is going to be more difficult to galvanize based on the team's strength that you're competing against. Now, especially when you're playing at home, and you played both of those games at home. So when you're playing against Liverpool, you are that team at home. Yeah, we are the away team. Yeah, that is playing against this indomitable version of City, whereas Liverpool are the away team that is not playing well this season, that has to hold on to that 1-0 lead or try and get a second goal. So yes, I understand that in key moments you have to have the sufficient belief to be able to overturn difficult moments. But what I'm trying to say is we've not been in our best form in the last 3 games. All kinds of questions have been asked. We have a key injury. We have a key injury to a player that is so important to many aspects in the way that we play. And then on top of that, we inherently don't have the 5 to 6 players that allow you to have the belief that when your back is against the wall, we can make the change that is going to be sufficient to change this situation. So when City go behind,
believe in Smith Rowe. Do you believe in Smith Rowe being because your fan base?
I can tell you what I believe about Smith Rowe. I believe in him significantly, but what I also believe is that the last 2 times that we've tried to rush him back from injury, he has effectively relapsed. So now we're in a situation, and the thing is, we did the same with Martinelli the season before last, by the way, when it was like, you know what, we can either rush him back like we have done the previous 2 times, and when his injuries reoccurred, we can give him a sustained period of rest to make sure that when he comes back the next time, he's not going to relapse again.
Do you know what?
I don't think Arteta doesn't believe in Smith Rowe's quality. What he doesn't believe is that he's fit enough.
And review some. I think you need to review some of your TikToks this season, right? Some of your tweets this season, and possibly delete them quickly. Because
I won't be deleting anything.
Well, in that case, hopefully, some of the belief you've had in this team, you now don't have today.
No, I do have belief in this team. I have belief in this team, right? But I have belief that this team, this is part of the journey that they have to go on to go to the next level. Now, I also believe that a lot of people, Daps. I also believe that a lot of people were making a lot of TikTok videos, a lot of YouTube videos, saying that Arsenal bottled their best chance to finish in the top 4 last season. And we've done that, right? And I'm not saying top 4 and winning the title is the same thing, but let me finish. What I am saying, is that what they've clearly done from that experience, is learned something to go to the next level. There will be an inquest in everything that's happened this season. There will be an inquest. Arteta will be held to account. The players will be held to account. The board will be held to account. Edu, Binay, everyone involved in trying to take Arsenal to where we're getting to will be held to account. There will be mistakes that are identified. And just like in that situation last season, there will be iterations and changes based on what the findings of this inquest bring up.
Was top 4 the aim?
What? When?
Was top 4 the aim?
No, before all the kick was, but when the season played out, and when we were in a position where we were to win the league, that changed. And in the aim then became to win the league.
Avoiding relegation was the goal.
I've got a question for Daps and Kaz because I've not checked yet. Has Boots done his infamous laugh tonight? Has he done the TikTok yet?
I'm not too sure. Gunnar would know more than me, but he was on here. I'm gonna check now. Let me check now.
Big up, Boots. I was just wondering, you know the infamous laugh he does. Maybe that.
You know what? We've been going for longer than usual. I've got to stop with one comment. Cass.
He said John Stones, I want to throw stones at the whole team.
I've got, before we end, I've got to say one thing to you, bro.
Go ahead.
Tottenham have sacked managers. Tottenham have had different managers in March, April, and May. Tomorrow, you face Ryan Mason's Tottenham.
You must win tomorrow,
You
Barry.
must
You
win.
must,
For me, it is a must win.
You must win.
Why do you think I'm ever going to be scared of flipping Tottenham? Come on, man.
I'm actually with you on this.
I don't care. I don't care. Not with that.
If you lose this one, the edit.
I am not. I swear that if I lose, I am not appearing on. I'm not even going on Truth's podcast.
I like this energy, Roms. I like
You
this
face
energy,
Ryan
Roms. Now you're
Mason.
telling because you won a couple of games, Roms. Now you're coming here and
It's
telling
true,
me you have
innit?
to win. Oh my God,
No, they
Roms,
have to.
welcome
No,
back,
they-
my
Wait,
man.
you have to beat them at
Welcome
Anfield.
back.
You have to beat them
Oh,
at
I
Anfield.
missed you, bro. I missed you so
Right.
much. Where were you? Oh my God, this energy
No.
you have to win and stuff because you won a couple of games. Oh
The reason
my
why,
God,
no, the
man.
reason why they must, because it's Spurs. Same way I'll be saying on the weekend, Mo, we will put 4 past Spurs. I think
I'm not joking. I will
I'm
not.
saying
I will
they
not be
have
showing
to.
face. I'll be on DR Media with Fuad and that tomorrow, yeah. And after I'll be on Truth's podcast. I suppose I have to because I agreed to it. But after that, I ain't appearing.
Let
Do you understand?
me
I
ask-
don't care. I will not. That is beyond shame. Like honestly, I
But you
think I
know-
will never know more shame than this season than I've ever had if we lose to that Tottenham team tomorrow. I am not joking.
You know,
Ryan
one of my
Mason.
United
Ryan
fans,
Mason.
one of my United friends had the cheek to say today, new manager bounce. I said, get out of here, bro.
What, their
That's
third one?
interim bounce.
Their
That's
third
former
one.
manager bounce.
Okay, guys.
Look,
we
can I-
have,
wait, what- can I ask-
long-
two-
Oh,
I've
go
got
ahead,
two-
Olo. Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
got two questions to ask. Right. First of all, is
You're here to ask
well, no,
questions.
two things.
Are you here to
No
ask
question.
questions?
No question. So 2 points. One, I can't wait for June the 3rd because it's a date for my birthday, and I hope it's Maguire against Haaland because I need to see.
Maguire won't play.
I need to see this.
But he won't
I
play.
need to see Maguire versus Haaland. I need to see
But
this.
he
okay?
won't
Because
play.
we've had
Anyways,
Holden.
it's fine.
We've had
Everybody-
Holden. We've had Holden against him, and I need to see Maguire. And the second thing is, now that we're talking about belief so much, I've just in the back of my head, I've been thinking, what is the best songs with the name believe? Is it Do You Believe in Life After Love? Is it I Believe I Can Fly? Is it you
Well,
know?
definitely not that one, bro. Definitely
My
not that
man,
one.
my man,
We don't know the last one.
Olo, you gotta pray
Oh,
that
that
Man
one.
United. You gotta pray that Man United beat Man City for one reason, which is
Right.
unlikely. That if they win a treble this year, I think Man City move ahead of you in terms of the big table.
Who?
Yeah, they do. Yes,
Ahead
they
of
do.
who?
Of course they do.
Arsenal.
They'll
It
be
only
great.
takes, no, mate. It takes one Champions League
Yeah,
to move
yeah,
ahead
they
of
do.
Arsenal.
They're gonna move ahead of
no,
you if
Look,
they
I
win
can't
the
really- I
treble.
can't
They
really
will be
can't-
remembered
No, no,
in
wait,
the history.
no, no,
They
no.
will be
I can't
remembered
Bro,
really-
your
in the
history was
history.
back in the
Wait.
80s and a couple bits in the
Yeah,
90s and the
okay.
early 2000s. Your history's
All right.
whatever, bro. If they get a treble,
takes-
even a Champions
They'll
League,
still be
they move
18
ahead of you,
trophies
bro.
behind us.
They've
No,
got
no,
3
that's
more
one of
Premier
my
Leagues
big-
than you, bro. They're catching up. You don't understand?
I don't care
Okay,
about
catching up's a different thing to saying they've overtaken us, but
So at
you know,
some
like
point, it'll
18
become.
trophies
Who
behind us, but they
cares?
got a Champions League, they done treble, and
It
they
don't
still
matter
got
anyway.
31 trophies.
Hey,
and we
it
got
don't matter.
48.
By the time it's
I don't know, like,
2030, by the time it's
Well,
2030,
look,
Man City will be a bigger
I'm
club
really-
than you, anyways.
I
Regardless.
just,
See what
I'm
I
not
just did?
even.
Do you see what I
I
just
don't even
did?
know what to say to that, really.
I was going
It's
to
true,
say,
though.
bro,
In-
that was on
in-
you. That was
I-
on you.
It's true though. No. It's true. It's true. By the way, how current things are going, by 2030, Man City will be a bigger club than Arsenal. G.
We'll see, innit?
Who cares? Who
We will
cares?
see, bro.
No. Because it's because you know what is
Dabs,
you know what is
Dabs,
that,
get
yeah?
out of here. Dabs, it's not your
No,
fight.
you know
Dabs,
what
it's
is,
not your
yeah.
fight.
You know what.
Thing is, though, like,
no,
it's
you
funny,
don't care,
like,
yeah.
it's funny,
It's-
bro.
it's
It's
not-
funny,
it's not-
like, it's funny.
it's not-
You couldn't bring the fight to either of us this season, so you're fighting this fight that Daps is.
I look, wait.
No,
Your
because
fight,
Dabs-
your fight.
This is like this is the somewhat. This is the somewhat. This is
Let's be
the
honest.
thing. Like Man United have had
I
to do
really
this
don't
to
do it
either us
banter.
or Liverpool for the last decade. Yeah,
That's
like,
nice.
and really,
That's- I
what
hear
you
it.
need to be doing is
Us.
focusing.
What do you mean
need to-
us,
what-
bro?
Liverpool
Listen,
won
I,
7
listen,
Champions
I
League,
don't
my
care
man.
whether they beat you or not. In fact,
I get.
yeah, to be honest, for all the Man United fans that live in London, yeah, that have been twerking for City all season, I hope they
I
do the
haven't.
job. I hope
I
because they
haven't.
deserve to. They
That's
deserve
hard,
to,
bro.
yeah, because then they can turn around. You really think you can palm off the uncomfortable conversation to me? They would have done not one, but 2 of your crowning achievements in the Premier League era. My guy, it's not the uncomfortable conversation
your
with
watch
us
as well.
that you need to worry about. Worry about the uncomfortable
I love
conversation
that
that we're having with
energy.
you, Cass. Yeah?
Wallahi,
Okay,
I
that's
love
what
that.
I'm gonna end it.
Wallahi, I love
You know the
that
man is
argument.
That's what we're gonna end it.
I love
Don't-
that
we are
energy,
so-
bro.
You know
we
how
are
I
so
love that
little.
energy.
You know
We are
how it comes.
fighting.
You know how it comes to this
Please,
energy, yeah.
please,
Because
yeah.
guess what?
I love the
Guess what?
energy,
But guess what?
bro.
I wanted Arsenal to win the league.
We
and
are
you-
tiny.
No, this is what I'm saying.
Arsenal's
I
gold.
wanted Arsenal to
Arsenal's
win
gold.
this year. Last 3 games, I wanted you to actually win, but you didn't. So am I going to ride on the wave? Of course, I'm going to ride on the wave because why not?
You're right, bro.
Anyways,
When they went
what-
behind,
what you've achieved in the Premier League,
Gold.
Arsenal. I mean, Man City, since they have come up and done their thing, they
No,
won 3
they haven't
Premier Leagues
got
in
a gold
like
one.
7. They undone what
They
you
haven't-
did in 7
they
years.
haven't got a
Oh, they
gold
got a gold cup. Oh, bore off with that
We've
crap,
got a
man.
gold one.
Would you rather
Have you
win an
seen one?
Invincible Trophy or do
Who
the
brought up the
Have you seen
No.
one?
Be honest. Be honest. Be honest.
Have you ever seen one?
I'm talking. Not
What are you
Arsenal
doing?
fans. Not Arsenal fans. Would you, Roms? Would you rather win a treble or win a invincible
Travel all
trophy?
day long. Free of the
Okay,
ministry all
so
day long.
basically there are Arsenal fans out there that have said they would rather go invincible than win a treble. Like, what are we doing?
In
What
fact,
are we
last
doing
question.
here?
You know what the
What
man
are we
thing is,
doing
yeah?
here?
Wait,
What are
Kat,
we
last
doing
question
here,
for
bro?
Ollie and Gunnar King. Would you swap your invincibles for a treble? Be
Obviously.
honest.
Why would that even need to be asked? Like, I don't
Anyways,
understand. Like, what is
this
that?
man, that
No,
man
no,
called Olu.
I got asked by a Monday on Man United agenda the other day asked me what the best achievement in the Premier League era was, and I stated it was the treble. No matter how much I
Hey, Gunnar
dislike
King,
Man
you're
United.
excluded from this. But
I'm not
Ollie,
gonna-
would you swap it? Would you swap that invincible for a
That's
treble?
like asking me if I'm going to swap Halle Berry for Beyonce. What's the point? It's
Because Halle Berry
both of
better
them-
than Beyonce. But what's it
That's
called?
what it's about. The point.
Anyways, the whole point is, yeah, you're Gunnar King's already doing it. He's posting little kids that support Man City that also live in London and all them kind of places there. That's why I said in the next 8 years,
don't talk
the next 8
slang
years,
on my
it's not point.
podcast.
So why I do this
Hey,
kind of
he's
stuff?
funny. Shout out KTB, by the way.
Yeah, why I
That
do this
guy's-
stuff,
that
yeah,
guy's a legend.
because all I ever hear from this Arsenal, if it wasn't, bro, you've been there 1 year, you've done nothing, bro, and next year it's going to be even harder for you, man. Yeah, all I know, my club will probably end up going places further than yours, regardless. We'll win a league title before you ever do again. You're going to do
Pretty
another
sure he
9
said that
years.
last season, but
Anyways,
no,
no one said that last season. I don't even know who said that last season. We finished second against Liverpool in a COVID season. Am I bigging it up? No. So, anyways, not the point. The point is, yeah,
Hold on.
get rid of times, get rid of program.
Wait,
What?
Huh?
Lies. The lies.
No.
we finished
Because
above you, I swear.
They did finish
no.
second,
You
yeah.
finished above us. That's what I said. We came second into your COVID season. I swear, we came second when there was no fans on the Ollie, bro.
No,
And
you
people pick
didn't.
it up.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Ollie
They
did come
did,
second.
bro.
Yes.
They came second.
They did.
Yes.
Yes, we
They
did.
did.
So who finished fourth? Because we
I don't
finished
know.
third.
Hold on,
Man
hold
City
on.
did.
No.
Did City finish third that
Guys,
season?
the
Really?
season with Van Dijk energy, Man United finished second. Liverpool barely got into the top 4 in the last game of the season. It was Man United.
But you know what it is,
second
though, Mo, yeah? You don't see me playing bridesmaid, fam,
No,
and
no,
saying,
no, I'm not having that. I
second's a
don't
thing.
believe
What? I know.
You don't see me playing bridesmaid.
Yeah, okay, because your team
don't think
finished
it's
eighth
even
and
in the
because
last-
your
Let
team
me-
finished eighth and fifth in the 3 previous
Look.
seasons when you finished second.
You know what is, yeah, Gunnar King,
And
yeah?
you finished
The
8th.
truth-
I-
You know what is, yeah? The truth hurts, bro.
Bro,
Your truth
I'm
hurts.
better
Your
than this,
team
bro.
are-
Like, I'm not gonna have these. I'm not gonna have these contentless conversations.
I get out then. But what's it called? All I'm gonna say then,
What?
yeah?
Come on.
No.
I'm trying to talk, bruv.
No.
I'm just trying to talk, fam.
Sorry.
I'm just
Sorry.
trying to talk, yeah.
COVID season.
It's the
I was
season after.
the I don't even know. Wait, what? I
Sorry,
swear
you
Ollie
said
came
COVID.
second.
No,
Ollie
the
came
co-
second.
he
did.
means
No, hold on.
21, 22, bro.
I don't know
21,
then. I don't know. The Ollie
No,
season,
no.
whatever season it was.
Sorry.
20,
Manchester United.
2021.
No, stop. He
That's
said
good.
he said that Man United came second to Liverpool COVID season.
Oh.
COVID season was
No.
2019-2020. Manchester City came second.
So
No,
Ollie
there were
came
two
second
COVID
in one of them
seasons.
seasons.
There were two COVID seasons. So
Oh,
that was the first one.
21.
Wait.
Oh, right.
Wait.
So then they came second to City. You were talking to
Oh,
Liverpool.
well, my
Yes,
bad then. If it came to
yes,
City, but
yes.
all I'm trying to say is,
Yeah, I
yeah,
was gonna
okay,
say,
that makes, you know what is, yeah,
Right.
that makes it even better then. But you don't see me twerking saying we done second place and all this
Wait a
stuff because
minute,
we done it
no,
one
no,
time,
no,
or we
that's
competed
a
with them.
lie.
At the end of the day, you're winning nothing in the season, yeah. That's what I know is facts. I know I'm going to win more trophies before you win a trophy, and I think that's going to be facts too. This is your best chance to win a Premier League, and you're not going to do another one probably for the next 20 years. Yeah, get with the program,
Don't
fam.
let it get to
Same
30,
the
that's
same
what
way
I'm
my
saying.
club is massive. Yeah, luckily my club is
Okay.
massive. Yeah, you're going
Okay.
down
You
the drain, bro,
celebrate
quicker than
being
you
big
think.
now, Cass.
Okay.
No, because you know what it is. Yeah, it's not just for
I
Gunnar King
believe
or Olu or the
I
other
believe you, bro.
Rom's Arsenal fans or anything like that. Yeah, when it comes to City, bro. Yeah. All the time, oh, but you spent this much money, you done this money,
I never
but
mentioned money, bro.
you spent $1 billion and you've done nothing in the last 10 years. Oh, great, I know, bro. But is that all you've got? And you want to twerk about being second fiddle?
I've not mentioned any
Cass,
money, bro.
Cass,
I've not mentioned any money, bro.
Working, bro.
Cass, let me just explain something to you, right? Because I think as a Man United fan, you don't see it.
Working for second place.
Wait,
It's hard.
wait.
Get out
Cass,
of here,
just
man.
calm
I
down.
got standards.
Cass,
Fuck
calm
off,
down.
bruv.
Cass, calm down. Listen, for most Man United fans in the recent era, you grew up during the
Fucking
30
hell.
years, right? And the rest of the league had to watch Man United fans get rightfully arrogant about it. So now that United will know it's great, of course, other fans, such as Arsenal fans, who we had to compete with you, will laugh at that, right? That's fine. The thing about this, the second thing is this, right? Second it's stupid twerking for a second because you don't get a trophy
God,
for
tell
that.
this man here,
You know
bro.
what I mean? Right? But
All right.
can I
So,
just say, wait, no, don't talk.
I want to land after this.
Don't talk. Wait, don't talk. Let me just finish what I'm saying. But I think to his point, what he said was that you also have to look at the progression of a team in terms of if Arsenal were finishing first and second for the past 3-4 years, then yeah, you say second. Why are you celebrating that? If, for example, like how Leicester, I'll stay on Arsenal. The fact that we finished 8th, then 5th, and everyone pretty much just said, listen, I think 5th is your ceiling. To then go second, of course, and to challenge for 31 games. Of course, Arsenal fans are going to go through that ride and they're going to believe in it. I mean, I don't understand why people are policing Arsenal fans for being happy about the season they had. Wait, no, I don't care. Listen, I don't care.
I don't care what you did in achievement because we could do that for a lot of teams.
Listen,
Newcastle went from 19.
Let me finish my
Newcastle
point.
went from 19 to 4th.
Guys,
let me finish my point.
Sorry, you can, Olu, you can finish. Olu, I promise you can finish. But listen, I have work in the morning, right? And this has turned into a conversation between bridesmaids about who is the best bridesmaid. There's no room for me being here no more, yeah? My job is done. Arsenal, I salute to you, man. It's been nice, but you, man, we know how it ends now, so see you next season. Smash like people. I am out. Salute.
I prefer when Man City has Sean Galton and Paulo Wanchop on their man, to be honest. But the point to this, right, is that of course there's a level of like celebration that comes to the fact that of what we have done for the season. I think at the end of the season, I don't think any Arsenal fans should be ashamed of the fact that we finished second. They should be disappointed we finished second. Don't be ashamed, because in the end, you have to look at the progression. Now, what needs to happen is that we need to progress from this, and progression could be continue challenging or actually win it. But the fact that people try to, if Man United finished second after the season you had last year, I think Man United fans would have they should have the right to celebrate it because you were shit the year before and now you got to watch better football and see your team play better. Why are we policing celebration? I mean, the only people should really police is Spurs.
Yeah,
and I also want
to ask you a question about this. If Arsenal finish above Man United with single digits this season, and Arsenal, you have had your manager for 3 years. Man United is a new manager. They have a trophy. They're in another final. I'm not talking about a month ago. I'm talking end of the season, which is they are 16 points behind you with 3 games in hand. So they can actually finish the season with only 1 digit behind you. Who would you rather? Who has a better start next season, Man United or Arsenal?
Arsenal.
Well, I would say Arsenal, and let me see the reason I say Arsenal.
Can I say why?
Because no. He asked me the question first.
I asked Gunnar King because he said he wanted.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
Sorry, it's okay.
So, for me, I've got really bored of asking this question, and like me and Cass got into this on Twitter. There is a difference between a more successful season for me and a better season. Does an energy drink that this guy is talking to me about standards, denote quality? Yeah. If I asked you who the best team in Germany is right now, would you look at who won the Pokal Cup, or would you look at who is top of the league, or who is as close to being top of the league as possible? The answer is simple. Yeah. So quite simply, I've always conceded that trophies equal success, but they don't always equal quality. Now, where were Chelsea in the first season that they won the Champions League? 6th. Yeah, 6th. So they were the 6th best team in England, but the best team in Europe. Because cup competitions, I'm not saying Man United relied on luck to win the Carabao Cup, but anything does happen in a cup. Now, if we look at who Man United beat and where, most of their games were played at home, and they were playing the likes of Burnley, Nottingham Forest, Newcastle, and the like. If you're asking me to say, without disrespecting the success that's brought Man United's season, and the context that Man United haven't won a trophy in 6 years, so they have to, it's a stepping stone, for them to regain that belief that they have won 1 trophy and can now continue to remember what it's like to go for the bigger trophies and actually believe that they can do that. And for Ten Hag to have done that and alleviate that pressure so early on in his managerial tenure, as Arteta did, is good for Man United. Because what that did for Arteta was the same thing. It galvanised belief that this guy can do better. And it got the fans behind Ten Hag in the longer term. However, if you're asking me to say that that means they performed better than us this season, I'm not going to do that.
I never
Yeah.
said that. I said who's going to have a
And
better.
the thing is,
I
I'm
never
not
said that.
going to say that that wins a trophy, because it doesn't. We both end up getting Champions League football. Yeah. And for me, what I'm trying to say is, for the longer term, for a young group that we have, we've won a trophy 3 years ago, albeit an FA Cup. Yeah. So we don't have the same pressure to win a trophy, because we have that little credit in the bank. Now, we do have a pressure to win the league title, because that's something we haven't done in 20 years. And we do have a pressure to win a Champions League, because that's something we've done since 2000 and never, right? Now, for me, the standard has changed significantly from when we last won a league title. Yeah. The standard now is at this perfect, like, no room for failure, no margin of error standard to win a league title. Yeah. Now, Man United, when they finished second, yeah, and why Cass is being like, I didn't lord up second, because when you were out of the title race in February with a squad that was more experienced, with a manager that was more experienced, what was there to brag about? Yeah. Now, when Arteta has only managed for 3 years, bro.
And a half.
For 3 years.
And a
This
half.
man has only been a professional manager for 3 years. Yeah. And he has taken a club that was on its absolute knees to a place that no one at the beginning of the season, including myself, believed they could be in, right? Now, what I am trying to say is, these players and that manager need that experience. They need that experience more than they need a Carabao Cup, without taking away the fact that Man United won a World Cup, a Carabao Cup, sorry, and everything that it means that is good for their season. I'm not trying to have this slanging match with Man United fans. They're trying to have it with us. But for me, if you're going to challenge and compete for a title and win it, yeah, you need that experience of being like, do you know what? This is where we got it wrong. So we know what it takes to get it right next time. I don't believe Man United have that at this moment, because they've never been in a title race since Fergie. And I'm not saying that to piss off Kaz or any Man United fan that's listening. I'm saying that because it's an objective truth. The second time that they finished second, City had 84 points and they had 86 points, sorry, and Man United had 74. Again, the race was ended a long time ago with a more experienced manager, with more experienced players. Yeah,
like this one here. Then,
Kaz, please. Yeah, what I'm trying to say, yeah, is that this team, like top four last season, and Kaz has spewed out the same narratives that everyone said about top four. Yeah, oh, this was your best chance and you blowed it. Yeah, they took that experience and they did something with it. Yeah, if there is sufficient evidence, as my man here said in the top left-hand corner, that they haven't taken the experience of this season and learned from it, then we have uncomfortable conversations that end in only one way. But every time they've got something wrong, they've learned from it, put it right, and got better. And until they stop doing that, I just don't believe that me saying these things shouldn't be changed doesn't mean I don't have a standard. It just means that I respect what the standard is in today's game. Yeah, and it's unbelievably high. And Man United haven't even found that out yet.
And you say about my
We've
club.
been closer to the standard.
Did you say my club? Mine's getting me learning.
Yeah.
No, it's talking about Arsenal. There.
You're talking about Arsenal that you've learned from the experience. Because I said there's no way Man United have learned from no experience in the last decade. Anyways, cool. I like this expenditure stuff because your club has spent 178 million, while my club has spent 227 million this season alone. So it's only a 40 million difference. Second of all, this is Arteta's fourth season. On top of that, like I swear most people predicted Man United to finish outside the top six, even 7th place, 6th place, 5th place. Not anyone really had them in a top four. No one really believed in it. No one actually believed in Ten Hag. I was hearing 2 Hag, 3 Hag, 4 Hag in the first 2 games. He's had to deal with Ronaldo's situation.
You forgot to add that number on the end of the numbers that you used to describe Hag.
And that's nice.
Don't forget the 7, bro.
Okay, I won't forget the 7. Like your caretaker manager, anyways. What's it called?
Don't forget those numbers either.
Anyways, you played 33 games. You got 5 games left to go. Yeah, you're on your 75 points, and yet guess what? Man City could also finish about 14 points above you, and you have an exact same season as Ollie. Then what's the conversation there? Or 12 points?
Then it becomes different. But I don't believe we finish 14 points.
There we go. There we go then, because there's been a lot of issues at
obviously,
Man United. Just like the same
that
process
conversation
as
would
your
have
one.
to change if that happens. We're not going to finish 14 points below them, bro.
You say that now, but I think we're going to catch you up, bro.
Okay.
I think you're going to lose against Newcastle.
How many times you said that this season?
I think you're going to lose
How many
against. I
times
think
you
you're
said
going to
that
lose
this
against
season?
Newcastle, bro.
I was hearing that when you went to Crystal Palace.
Bro, you spoke. It's my time to speak, innit? What's it called? So what's it called? Talking too much. So on that notice, yeah, for me, it's like, what's the difference between Arteta's first season and Man United's first season? If we're being real, you said that we haven't inherited typically the same type of squads. Yeah, yes or no? I think Man United's squad is that little bit better than Arsenal's word that Arteta inherited. If I'm being not totally honest, yeah, they've spent a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. If you want to compare, whatever, Man United's always going to spend that more money because we're just a giant wolf in this thing, innit? That's all it is. So, anyways, we spent the money, but guess what? You've also spent bare money, bro. You also finished second, and and we're talking about successful season. You had more successful season, yeah. That was all the conversation was about. That's it. A final, a Carabao Cup, and that's it. And guess what? And we still could finish a few points behind you. And guess what? What's the difference? Sorry, I had to mute you, Connor King, anyways.
The same Carabao Cup that you lost to Liverpool fans for lifting last season. And they didn't win an FA Cup as well. But that's none of my business, my friend.
Stop.
That's none of my business.
Guys, one second.
Can I have 2 hours, to be honest. So, guys, it's 1 in the morning. And I applaud everybody that is watching us. We still have 250 people here. So, guys, if you haven't hit that like, please do it. It's free. I'm enjoying this. It's 1:20 in the UK.
Can I say one thing though on the whole trophy thing? So when Wigan won the FA Cup and went down, did they have a more successful season than a team which stayed?
No, if you're going to get relegated, they got relegated though.
So the thing is that the trophy thing doesn't. It had it had some bearing, but it's not the full bearing of that. Right? So
yeah,
I agree with you.
That's a whole different situation.
Of course, but I'm just saying that a trophy isn't the be all and end all of looking at successful seasons. But as Arsenal fans, we've always mocked Tottenham fans for saying you never win anything. So at the same time, we have to be able to take what we dish out back to us, right? So if people say to us we didn't win a trophy, well, we said that about Tottenham. So it's one of those things that we have to accept it. But when it comes to the base, in terms of who's going to answer the most question, who is more likely to do better next season, I think it's all going to come down to what happens with Man United in the summer in terms of do they get sold to Qatar, or do they get sold to Sir Jim? Because I think if it goes to Sir Jim, it becomes more toxic with the fans. Because from what I see, nobody wants Sir Jim in terms of ownership, and I think if that toxicity bleeds from the fans into the team and the Glazers stay, I think you're just going to have a repeat of what's happening. And there's only so much that Ten Hag can go above what he's doing right now. And to be honest, you're not that far much better than what you did last season. So you still should there's a level of toxicity. That exceeds you in terms of point tally. You're not that much more further than last season.
Points don't mean shit, bro. When you're competing, when you're playing one game a week, bro. Like you wanted to big up, yeah, but all you Arsenal fans, the connection between the fans and the manager and the club, same way with Man United fans. This point stuff, I remember this Liverpool fan the other day was twerking, but Liverpool got this many points, I'm like, who gives a crap? Did you win anything? No. Did you win the Premier League? No. It don't matter, bro. It just means the Premier League got a little bit harder, or maybe the top teams just regressed.
But last season, the same fan base was saying to Liverpool fans, the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup didn't matter.
Who said that? I don't remember. I didn't say that. I don't know. Winning 2 domestic trophies. I don't know. You're mute, by the way.
Let me ask Rom the question because let me ask Rom the question. If Arsenal don't win the league, because they still have a chance realistically to win the league. If they don't win the league and they finish some points ahead of Man United won the cup already, and they both go for a player next year, same wage, same price. Where is the player gonna choose? Which club is the player gonna choose? And don't be nice. Be honest.
The thing is, it also depends on the position. But I would have to say Arsenal. I would say them instead. And it's not to say for me Arsenal are the better club. But if Arsenal, we know they're not winning the league now, and United finished in the top 4 with a trophy. For me, and I said this to Kaz, United have had the better season. It doesn't mean they're the better team, but they've had the better season. But to answer your question, Mo, I think the play is going Arsenal because I do feel they are closer as of now being champions than the United are. So I think the play would go Arsenal.
Yeah,
It's crazy
100%.
though. It's crazy though because it will only be next season, anyways. When we do get bought out and everything, it will only be next season when we do end up getting the players we
Sold out,
get,
huh?
and people are going to be like, "Oh, United should be pressing for the league," but it's only taken Arsenal about 4 or 5 seasons to go and press for the league again, and the process just finished. When mine's only got second
When's the
season.
deadline
That's
for
it.
the bid?
You know what it is though, Roms? It's expectations. G. There is levels to this game. That's Man United levels and there's Arsenal levels.
So Ten Hag getting more to spend in his first window than Arteta did in his first two has absolutely nothing to do with the quality
Mate,
of first season.
You have
This is
spent
what I'm saying. The thing
you
is,
spent nearly close to 500 million,
I'm sorry, bro.
It don't
I'm
matter.
sorry, bro. But the thing is, you know what? It's not Arsenal fans starting this conversation, yeah. Because
What?
Arsenal
You
know
saw
they
all these
won. No, wait. Arsenal know that they should have won the league and they didn't. We're not competing with Man United at this moment. We're competing with Man
Yeah,
City.
you're not.
Man United trying to compete with both of us, knowing
Not
they can't
anymore.
compete with City, so they can
You're
try and
competing
use
with us
this
for
little
second now, G.
avenue to try and think they're competing with Arsenal when they're not. I did not go to Spurs and hold 7, or Chelsea for that matter. You
No, you
went
held
to
4.
Liverpool
You held
and
4
held
today.
7. I did
You held
not
4.
go to Man City, the team that I pretend isn't my rival, because they're significantly better than me, and hold 6 and leave at half time because I'm not good enough. You did. But you know what? Enjoy the goddamn energy drink if that makes you feel better about any of those things and being significantly behind us. Yeah. Enjoy the energy drink, bro. Because I tell you what, bro. Yeah, a Carbo Cup ain't gonna help you challenge for a title next season. And no one answered my question. If I want to know who the best team is in Germany right now, yeah, or the second best team, I'm not gonna look at who won the Popball Cup. Osasuna are in the final Osasuna are in the Spanish Cup final, the Copa del Rey. Am I gonna say that if Osasuna beat Real Madrid in the final and Real Madrid don't win a trophy, that Osasuna have had a better season than Real Madrid? No, because I'm not stupid.
Yes, if Osasuna finish in the top 4, if they finish in the top 4 or 3 to get them Champions League and they won a cup, there's Copa del Rey, and Real Madrid have finished second and on nothing, they've had the better season.
Up, my guy, then enjoy the 7 up.
Season.
Enjoy the 7 up.
My question.
My problem was
enjoy holding 6 at Man City and have a good sleep, bro.
Brother, you've held 10-2 on aggregate on the Champions League, G, and you just held 4 today. You've been holding 5. You've been holding 5. You've been holding 5 against Liverpool for time as well, bro. So it's not different, G.
Why are we looking at the Champions League came up? We're talking about how well we're comparing the outcome of this season.
Guess what? Guess what? No, you've conceded more goals than us this season as well, and we've held. You know what's mad, yeah?
Because guess what?
Conceded more goals than us this season.
When Arsenal won an FA Cup, we tried to use that to paper over the cracks of being shit as well, and it didn't work, and we realised that, and we got better. Yeah, you are trying to paper over the crack of a poor.
Oh, I can't be bothered anymore. I'm actually getting.
No, come on,
I can't be bothered because I'm trying to hear other people talk. But it's
guys, can we like do something here? It's
jarring, man.
Quickly, because I have to go.
Can I do this? Can I do this first? AB, thanks for the super chat. Continuity is not guaranteed. Anything can happen in football. Quality this year does not guarantee anything next year. I think he's directing this to the Arsenal people who are saying that because the challenge this year, it's guaranteed that they're gonna challenge next year. I kind of agree with this. If you're gonna say the point, Gunnar King, can you make it short a little bit because we're really gonna go. Like, go ahead.
So what I am saying is that the challenge in next season isn't guaranteed, right? But if you are a betting man, and if you were looking at the trajectory of this club year on year and the improvements it's made year on year since Arteta's been here, yeah, then you look at the fact that he's done that without having access to players that want Champions League football, and now he's going to have that. And you look at how shrewd we have been in recruiting players, even in situations where we haven't got our first choice. Man United took Martinez when we wanted him. We got Zinchenko as an alternative. Chelsea wanted Mudryk when we wanted him. Didn't get him. We got Trossard as an alternative. Maddison, Leicester wanted 80 million for him. We said we're not paying that. We went and got Odegaard as a viable alternative. In every situation that I've explained, we have got a second choice option and still got better. But guess what? Now we have Champions League football. We're not going to go Juventus and we're not going to go to Fiorentina, try and get Vlahovic and have the player say, we're not coming to you because you don't have Champions League football. I'm not saying it's going to happen with every player, but there will be a significant amount more players that will look at this project and where it has come from to where it is and where it wants to go, and will be like, you know what? Arsenal are that team. They are a credible option that I can go to.
Great point.
These variables make it unlikely that we won't challenge next season. Now, if we don't challenge next season, then we have to have the conversation about Arteta, and it has to be one where you've now had the chances, and maybe we need to look elsewhere. But I want to stay the course and see where that takes us. Because if this is what he's done,
he gets one more year. So your point is he gets one more year to prove that he can take you over the line. That's it. I think this is what I'm understanding. This, Roms, your point, please, because we gotta end this now.
Yeah, it's not even really relevant now because the topic's changed. But I'll just be saying back on the season stuff. I'm not disputing Arsenal are better than United. I think they are, but I'm not saying you specifically, Gunner King. What I don't agree when Arsenal fans are saying, but we still had a better season over them, even if we finished second. That is absurd to me. If they've got silverware and they finish in the same Champions League places as you lot, they've had the better season. They're not the better team, but they've had the better season. That's all I wanted to say.
That's all it was.
When I said that Man United have been more successful by having the better team, it sounds like we're saying the same thing, but in a different way.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
okay.
wait.
So
No, wait. Our season was more fun. That's what it was.
Yeah. Leave it as that. Your season was more fun.
Yeah. If that's what the second place, if that's what your award is for second place, then great.
That's
anyway,
second place.
Beautiful people, thanks for watching.
All I'm going to say, I'm going to revisit this conversation. If we've, as Mo said, if we finish a few digits behind you, oh my word. Remember, you've conceded more goals than us this season.
He's going to be even more unbearable.
It's going to be
more
unbearable. You've conceded more goals than us by 1 year at the moment, by the way. Your great defense. Cool. That's fine. We'll go with that, even though we've held 7-6 in separate games. Even better for me. I will have the last laugh. When we gain those 3 games in hand and come closer, and you lose to Newcastle and we get even closer, we're going to have another conversation, aren't we?
Guys, tomorrow we got a fantastic preview for you. Lee Gunner is going to be here along with Goonie, Northside as well. That will be a fantastic stream. Make sure to subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you know when we go live. And they have been great 2 hours. And we're freaking out.